Ocarina of Time.
What's up? What's up? What's up? And I think my background's loud because I don't know. I've never seen people react to TV shows like that. But what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 70, 70, Planet Xbox Podcast. I'm your host, the Best Spot Kid Smooth. Got the panel in here. Welcome back, Chris Righteous.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, man, glad to be back. I was a little under the weather last week. I missed both of my podcasts last week and shit, but good to be back, man. Good to be back and playing. Been playing some good games lately. Some good old games lately.
Yeah.
So, gotcha. I've been playing Skyward Sword HD. I got that for the Nintendo Switch, and I'm really enjoying it, man. I'm really surprised at how it looks. I mean, I played it when it was on the Wii and I beat it, but I'm really surprised how clean it looks, because it's actually full HD, right? It's actually 1080p, 60 frames a second. It makes the game looks really good. Skyward Sword HD.
I'm planning on picking that up pretty soon.
Yeah, it's cheap now. You can get it for like $45 at like Walmart and shit like that. But that I've been playing Link's Awakening, the remake as well. Which we're gonna get into those type of games because Death's Door just came out for Xbox, which is like it's inspiration based off of like Zelda and shit like that, right? Link's Awakening, that game is actually really fucking good. Like it's a lot better than I was expecting it was gonna be. I'm actually having a real good time. It didn't, of course, the Kingdom Hearts games, but other than that, man, yeah, shout out to Xbox, Planet Xbox.
Swans.
Yep.
Did I just call you? I meant Koi.
Oh, no, my bad. Hey, how's everybody doing? Planet Xbox chat. How's everybody doing, man? Yes, I've been doing great, man. Working out, playing these games, playing Death's Door, really great game. Playing Raji too, making my way through Raji.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving that. I'm just trying to clear up backlog stuff, like for real. I'm trying to clear up Mad Max, but I swear, like every time I start playing it and I'm getting through it, I just jump to another game and I completely forget it. Yeah. But I mean, like, I know that I'm at the end somewhere, so I mean, like, I'm gonna get through it eventually. But yeah, and I saw the Halo tech preview stuff. I guess we're gonna talk about that later. So, but yeah, how's everybody doing?
Doing good, Logan.
Hey guys. Planet Xbox, episode number 70. Glad to be here. Glad to see you guys once again this beautiful week. And dude, like this week is, I think this whole week has been great with Death's Door. It's just come out last week with Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then we got the Ascent literally tomorrow. So I think like right now is like a great time, I believe, to be on the Xbox platform. So I'm just ready to talk and have another awesome, amazing podcast.
Okay, and Dopest J.
What's up, guys? It's Planet Xbox. As Smooth say, Xbox is the best box. And yeah, we're just here chilling. We got a lot of topics to cover today. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS5, trying to breeze through that and beat that. Also recording a lot of footage from that game as well, so I'm trying to get a review out on that as well. So yeah, we got some content on the way. We have a lot to talk about today. Some good game. And Halo Infinite preview drops tomorrow, so if you guys haven't been invited, that is unfortunate because I
haven't been invited.
They've covered a lot of that already, but we're going to be playing that, recording some footage, and giving some appropriate feedback on the game once I be able to. I want to wait to get feedback. I know some people are going to give some like initial reactions to the game, but I want to have like those like 4 days to play the game, record a lot of footage, and really like let my thoughts sink in on the game before I give some initial thoughts on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Logan, you got a box.
I did want to throw out there. I forgot because I talked about it last week. This is just a box. It's in my living room, but I did pick up an Xbox Series S.
Nice.
As well. So I got my wife and I have both Series X's in our game room, and then I got a Series S for our living room. This thing, dude. So quick little I guess overview of it because I've been playing it for. I think I got last Friday, so a couple days, whatever. This thing is actually pretty powerful for like I wasn't expecting it to be like as good as it is. I was playing a Microsoft Flight Simulator on it yesterday.
Yeah,
and like I was just kind of like taken back by the power that is in this little guy. Like I know it's $300, and I was just kind of taken back. I've been kind of gaming on it, seeing how things run on it, and I really haven't. I haven't played like the super like graphically like intense games on it yet. I've just been kind of playing through Death's Door, played a little bit of Microsoft Flight Simulator yesterday, and then I've been playing the hell out of Yakuza 0 on it. I put like 10 hours on it on Sunday playing through that game. And it's, dude, like even if there's like PlayStation fans out there and you just want to get into the Xbox ecosystem for something at a very low like budget rate, dude, like I'm actually really really impressed with the Series S for what it does. Like I can't believe like I was kind of taken back because I didn't really feel like, and it was nice, like dude, like the setup, like I just pulled all my Series X stuff from it. I have the thumbstick and stuff, so I could just pop it out, throw it in there in the living room, and so that's my initial review. My initial take on it is that it's a pretty beast of a system for how much it is. Like if you can get your hands on a Series S, which apparently there's a plethora of them out there at stores.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something low budget to get into the Xbox ecosystem, would highly 1000% recommend getting a Series S.
Facts.
And we definitely have to talk about the Xbox ecosystem and how successful it's doing. So we can jump into that in a little bit.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I know you guys talked a little about what you guys have been playing. I'm not gonna, after this podcast, honestly, I literally have to do like another video. But I've been playing, no secret, I've been playing the Ascent, which
Jealous I am.
Yeah.
I honestly, so obviously the game comes out tomorrow, so you can expect reviews to come out tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be able to have an actual review out. I do plan on putting a video out, just giving my opinions on it. And the reason why I won't have a quote unquote review, because there's no way. I don't think I'll have the game beaten by the end of the day today. By the time of podcast. The crazy thing is,
well, you could do impressions, Smooth, and double up.
Yeah, I'll do my initial impressions because I do want to talk deeply like about it. Because I've technically played the game, and I would at this time, shout out to Addict, it would be considered a waste of time because I tried to hold off because I thought I was gonna be able to play in co-op with Addict. So I was trying to time it with him, but I couldn't wait. So I started the game and I started to fall in love with it. And then I create a new save file so I can do co-op and play that with him. And then we ran into some things, but I played at least maybe 4 hours with him. But that was 4 hours I could have put into my original character. But I ended up making up time. I'm I think a level 17. I'm not sure what the max level is, but I probably already have about maybe 8 hours into the game. The reviews, I'm curious to see what they come out tomorrow. Obviously it's under like
it looks like it's gonna be pretty good.
Are you not able to give a first impression? Or are you under
I can give whatever based off
like you don't have to go like details into
it, I will give details. How
do you feel about it?
I feel the game, but the game is promising gameplay wise. The one thing I'll talk about that I guess you could see in the previews that they put out before, like they did a preview, right? They had a deep dive.
The deep dive with the devs.
My favorite thing about the game so far is like the cover system. The cover system for a game, like I don't play freaking, what do you call these, top down, like I don't play games like this.
Asymmetric twin stick shooter type stuff.
I typically don't play those type of games. So when I got into this one, and I'm gonna just fix this for Dre, but when I got
what's good, Dre?
There he goes.
What's up, Dre?
So
Dre?
Yeah, he's there. So who did I lose? All right, so when I did this game, when we got into this game, I was just surprised because the shooting mechanics, the cover system, it makes sense when I didn't think it was supposed to. I'm like, well, why would I do this? Like, so one of the buttons, I need the controller in my freaking hand. All right, so, and typically when you're playing a shooting game, and I'm sorry, this interface is pissing me off. Sorry, Dre, hold on, give me 1 second so I can fix this, because this shit is pissing me off. Let me correct this. Put everybody back in their place.
In the meantime, when the
ahead.
game drops tomorrow, the biggest thing for me is that I have Halo Infinite flighting, and then the Ascent, which is crazy.
Which is gonna be hard. I'm happy I got access
that's what
to
I'm
the
saying.
Ascent early.
You got it early, and we have to wait for it.
So hold up, Coke Boy.
Yeah.
How you got into the Joan is you clicked on flighting, right?
Yeah, so I've been in the Halo Insider program for a while because I was testing MCC on PC before it launched on PC.
Okay, that's why
I was automatically in there.
Then, because I didn't click the flighting thing.
You have to click flighting, so you have to sign up for Insider, and then you have to click flighting, and then you have to pick your platforms of choice. So I put PC and Xbox. Now,
let me see if I can do it. Like I probably can't.
Try to do it now.
You probably missed the first round, but this is not going to be the only one. They're going to be doing a couple of these.
All right,
because they still have a lot of like if you watch, I know you watched the the developer thing that they did today on Halo's YouTube channel. The biggest thing with them right now is trying to do like quality life fixes as well as refining the game. So like any bugs that people find in the game. Like, this isn't the final representation of the game that you're going to be playing tomorrow. Like, be cognitive of that. Like, understand that and give feedback. Like, that's the biggest thing. That's my thought process getting into this is, like, I know this isn't the final build of the game. They clearly said that, hey, this is an older build of the game. So, like, any feedback you can give, do it now. Like, make sure that you give the feedback ASAP. It's like, I'm recording a lot of footage when I'm playing this game.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you. I was like, when y'all playing the Halo Infinite, like any problem that you have, make sure y'all said, don't be capping and saying, "Oh, it's amazing." Any problem that you have, make sure you tell the developers or whatever, however they let you tell them.
Talk about that. They keep stressing in the stream today. I know they were stressing that the build is 2 months old. It was pre E3, and they know that there's.
I heard it was 1 month old.
2 months. They said.
They said 2 months. Yeah.
2 months.
Okay.
2 months. Yeah.
They stressed that there are bugs that we're gonna run into that they know of, and then there's gonna be more bugs there that they're probably gonna find out now that they got more people playing. I don't know if they showed off Xbox Series. I know they showed off the Xbox One version.
They showed off Series X gameplay. IGN has a video on their YouTube channel showing off the gameplay of the game. Okay. When I clicked off the stream is when they said they were going to show off the gameplay.
Like, I think the Series X gameplay looks damn good.
All right, cool. Who did I? So the thing is,
everybody,
but the thing is, you mentioned about capturing gameplay. Are we able to do that? I mean,
yeah. So on Twitter,
yeah.
they confirmed that there's no NDA with it whatsoever. So I'm going to be capturing gameplay. I'm not going to stream it because I don't want any interference whatsoever from other people talking and stuff like that. So, and plus I don't want to have my webcam over it. So I just want to get like solid gameplay for the 4 days I'm playing, and then have like a really comprehensive video, like giving my thoughts on the game and like things they can tweak a little bit.
All right, I'm in there.
So I apologize, and I apologize, chat. Shout out to everybody in chat. What's up, Notorious DRE?
Available.
I did not ghost you, by the way. Like, I thought, like,
hey man, you forgot about me, dog.
I didn't even do anything that week. Like, I was like, you know what, we should have done a podcast. I was like, all right, I'll probably do a replacement day. What the hell did I do? I took my kids to Sky Zone on Saturday, and honestly, I was just exhausted because the thing is, there was stuff I actually wanted to talk about. And I was like, crap, you know what I mean? We'll make it up. And then you haven't really heard from me in general, so that's usually not like me. So
that's why I hit you up.
Yeah,
like,
and I was like,
Shraggy?
Yeah, no, I just had a lot on my work's just been getting on the way. That's why I can't wait until this. Like, I set up a vacation. I'm literally contemplating adding another week right behind it, just like so I can just fully refresh. I think my job's taking advantage of me, so because I'm always available. But I'm gonna take myself a nice mental break and just like so I can just
dude,
like detox like. That shit out of my mind. But
you're about to be on grind time though. I know you're gonna be on grind time when you got that week off. I got a week off in August. Yo, what's good, Salty's Gaming? What's up, bro?
All right, hold up. So I seen y'all. I was hearing y'all talking about that Halo gameplay. What y'all think about that?
You guys
looks good so far.
Me, I only seen Xbox
One
version. I did not see any other version of it because I didn't get to watch the gameplay. So what did you see, Dre?
I mean, I just saw like a quick match.
But did you see the Xbox One version or the Series version?
Series X.
Yeah, Series X. Yeah, it was on GameSpot. They had the.
I watched that. Yep, that's the one I watched.
Mm-hmm. It looked decent.
Yeah, I want to get hands on because it's like I can watch it and sort of like approximate how it's gonna feel, but like it's nothing better than actually like getting your hands on it. Like it looks like a more refined version of Halo 5 with a couple of extra weapons and mechanics inside the game. And like we played a couple of like matches of Halo 5 together as a like a crew, like me, you, Nick, Dre. So like we know how it plays. No, that's cap.
I carry.
Don't
ever. Honestly,
don't ever. I'll get the screenshots. I got the facts.
We're gonna have to do an honorary play of Halo 5 one night before I delete the shit off my Xbox. Because once Halo Infinite comes out, once the stress test comes out for Halo Infinite, I got to keep MCC on until I beat Halo 1 and 2. Once I beat Halo 1 and 2 on MCC platform, I'll get rid of it off because it's taking up space. I'll get rid of that, and then we'll do this play of Halo 5, and I'll get rid of that and free up some space for it, obviously, and then have only Halo Infinite on there.
Are you gonna like co-op with somebody on that game? Like,
I need to. I'm not playing through Halo 1 or 2 by myself. I need to co-op. So Dre, if you want, or somebody want to do another run of that game, Halo 1 is the most boringest Halo experience I've ever had.
I'm not gonna lie. I did not beat that game. One time. I beat 2. I beat every other Halo, but Halo 1.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is, dog. Like it's always like I was like,
I can't believe what the hell.
Yo, wow.
Okay.
I never beat Halo 1. Like I just had no interest in it. Like I played the multiplayer. I hated it, and the campaign. I tried it, but I didn't like it whatsoever.
Well, that's where it starts.
I know, but still, like I know what happened in the game. I'm more interested in other Halo games. But overall, like I just can't. Like tomorrow we're gonna be playing the game, obviously. So people who got invited to the flight and like we're gonna try it out, get some hands on. I think tomorrow is bots or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
they showed off.
Go ahead,
they showed off the battle pass a little bit, talking about that, the customization within the game. So I was there for that part of the stream. Other than that, yeah, we're just gonna try it out, honestly. The Ascent. On the Ascent, you guys can preload the game now on PC and your series consoles, so definitely preload that game.
All right. So speaking of the Ascent, I'm gonna go back to the Ascent. All right, I'm gonna try to be. The game comes out tomorrow, so what the fuck? All right, so all right, so I know there's going to be a day one patch, so that's why I can't really criticize certain things because there's a day one patch that's coming out with the game that I don't have access to right now. So the issues that I did run into that I'll talk about will probably honestly not be an issue by the time everybody gets to play it. But to the things that I do enjoy and that you all should have seen with the Ascent by now, with the deep dive that they did on the Xbox channel, is that one of the best things about the game in that type of game is the cover system. It's like usually when you're playing the game and you're shooting, right, you aim with a left trigger, right, and then you shoot a right trigger, right? So when you aim in this game, like you're toggling, am I aiming like pretty much hip fire, or am I when you just shoot, you're just shooting, I think, hip fire target. And when you pull down the L trigger, you're aiming now high. And I'm like, why in the hell would you do that? Like everything's at like you don't know, you can't really judge how high somebody is from a camera angle that way. But it's because of the game's fucking crazy ass cover system. So when you're in cover, you have to aim higher because if you're crouched. When you're crouching cover, you have to aim higher. And once it happens, it's like, okay, where people are creeping or coming up to you, but where there's like space between you, the cover, wherever you're taking cover behind, and then them. It's the most natural feel of cover shooting I experienced in a game like that, not in just regular shooters, but in a game like that. I was like, oh, that actually makes freaking sense. Why haven't I seen this shit before? Like in a game like this. But this dude, Koi, I know you were one of the dudes that actually liked Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, if you enjoyed the world of Cyberpunk, you're going to enjoy this because they have they both share like that same vibe, like the whole like scenery. It's like, all right, this is a fucking Cyberpunk on a budget, right?
And all of that. That's what Cyberpunk is. Like it's really gritty And with playing with Ruiner, I feel like this cover system is probably most likely unique to the Ascent.
Yeah.
Because it's like with these twin stick shooters, like it's more fast paced dodging. Like it's kind of like Returnal in a way. It's like you're supposed to dodge projectiles, and there's supposed to be like a good amount of enemies surrounding you, and you got to dodge everything that they're shooting at you.
Yeah.
So with this having a cover system, like it seems like really different. Like you could duck behind something and just be shooting. So that's way different. You can almost say like cover, I'm liking it. Like that sounds cool.
You can almost say cover behind a lot of almost like anything they got. The crazy thing is, right? The game can be freaking brutal. And that's what I took. Like I walked into some of these things like extremely lightly, like I'm gonna smash through this, and I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that because it does get hard, and that's why a lot of people are going to may want to opt to do like sort of co-op because I'm running through it unfortunately by myself, and there's obviously a leveling system and enemies do scale, and you can't venture off too far where people are like quadruple your level and they will take you out. And the cool thing about the game is that enemies, like every time enemy comes, it's not scripted, it's extremely random. Like you're not going to run into the same scenario at the same location every time you go to that one location.
That's why I gathered from the dev previews, like there's different enemy types, and like they had melee combat, they had long range enemies, they had enemies that can throw nades at you and take out your cover. So like I was like, yo, like if you get into co-op, you can really strategize different approaches to different combat situations because no encounter is ever going to be the same. So like when I watched that, I was like, yo, this game, like no playthrough is ever going to be the same.
No,
every playthrough is going to be different. It's like a Doom in my opinion.
The one thing I can respect about this game is you have access to multiple save files. So I have 3 characters going. I have one set up for co-op when I was running with Addict, which is at a level, I think currently a level 9, and I have one for my personal playthrough, which is a level 17. So you can keep you have a decent amount where you can, because people, you don't want to obviously overwrite your progression and stuff like that. But I'm wondering, which we'll find out soon, is like when the game comes out and now I can actually play with people when they all have access to the game, is I want to be able to take my character and carry people through some of these like missions.
I wonder that's a thing.
Do that because
kind of like how Borderlands does.
Yeah. So that I'm hoping that we can do that. But right now I have like 3 active characters. The one I have in my co-op mode, I made a female. The one that I have in my solo playthroughs is some dude. I wonder if I can say this.
What?
The only thing, the biggest con, and I'm not going to mention any technical issues about the biggest con about this that is probably going to come up in a lot of the reviews is the like lack of customization. It's very very basic. So that's all I'll say. There's augmentations that's going to help with that and stuff, so your characters can give off different looks, but the what they start you off with,
like the base stuff,
extremely
it's like I wouldn't feel like, I mean, with the way that the camera's set, I wouldn't feel like you'd be seeing your character that much, or
you see your character a lot, and they do a lot of cuts with the angle. Like the game, I had already seen about 3 or 4 different camera angles that that are usually reserved for one type of game. Like, so for example, you look at the Ascent, you just assume it's that pan back look. I already had a mission or segment where it was a sideways, like it was set up like a side scroller where you just see the side, but obviously the graphics is still the same, and it's like people running at you and shit like that. And I'm like, oh, this is different. I had to do the whole entire segment with that camera angle. So things change up in the cutscenes. They put some quality into it. The story's good. They do have voice acting, and the humor in the game is honestly is low key. Like a lot of people, you're gonna have to pay attention to it, but I can't say it's underrated because nobody has played the game yet. But it's low key lit. The humor in the game. I was like, oh shit, this is they went there. But I'm having a good time with this game, and honestly, like I said, I'm happy that I'm blessed to have had early access with it because everything happened at the same time. Flight Sim came out. You got freaking Halo. We're gonna have access to tomorrow. I was like, yo, and then the X. I was like, that's a whole lot. So, and this is the game that stopped me obviously from finishing Death's Door, because I was playing that, and then I got surprised with this, and I'm like, oh, and then I haven't stopped playing it since. So the only thing I'm disappointed is, I'm just letting you guys know now, I won't have a full review tomorrow because I won't have the game beaten by the time the
So
embargo lifts.
you essentially have a lot of content that can come out because you have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got
you have the
least
Death
3
Door
hours of
review.
gameplay recorded.
You have the Death Door review you can do. You have the Ascent review you can do, and then you have Halo Infinite flighting you can do as well. So that's like 3 or 4 videos right there.
Yeah, absolutely. But
so you're gonna be good.
I gotta stop working so I can actually do some videos.
Yeah.
Shout out to Notorious Dre and Dope Boy. Now I'm gonna give you guys a heads up, yo. We did not plan to all wear the same shirt. So
I'm just saying right now, Smooth copy my whole swag.
Yeah.
I threw it on because y'all had it on. So.
Yeah, I reached for my white shirt, but I feel like the last time we was on the podcast, I might have worn the white Xbox shirt, so I grabbed the black one.
I threw this on after I left work. I just had this in my bag. I was like, fuck, I'll just throw this on, boom. So I won't walk outside with my work shirt and people asking me questions and shit.
Yeah, shit, I gotta give me an Xbox shirt. Shit, I gotta get like y'all, man.
I got the Series X shirt. I got this
from Target. I think
Yeah, I got
Target.
this shit. I got this. Yeah, Target. That's what it was. It was Target.
I was like, you know what's crazy? I got this, and I got the Series X T-shirt from So the Series X T-shirt I obviously got from Xbox. I bought this from Target the week before E3 because I was like, damn, we about to have like a whole Stubu on the hat.
the
We got the gear. Right,
I think GameStop. I mean, has a
GameStop.
They have a new shirt. Like it's
like
like
I got everything.
It's like the outline of the Series X console, like some kind of design or something. Like that.
You know, I haven't ordered any of the shirts. No, the shirts that I got from Xbox.com was the Mixer shirt, and then the white and black Xbox shirt that I had. But I do want to get some of the Series X stuff. But we look like dorks dressing in Xbox.
Listen.
Clothing, bro.
I'm telling you, Xbox is gonna start plugging everybody in this podcast with some gear, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna start plugging us up.
Hey, yo.
We gotta get the Chaser Ronald interview.
Like, I want the whole sweatsuit.
The Phil Spencer interview we gotta get soon. Yep. We gotta get all that, man. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, Planet Xbox is going places.
We can do it, yeah. But there's a couple things. So I want to give a couple shout outs because I'm gonna give a shout out to Level 1 Gaming, Fame ENT2K. He was on podcast on Lock this week. So shout out to him. That was a good look.
Great
so
podcast,
shout out to you,
by the
Fame,
way.
if you're listening. Well, you're probably not listening because I think you're live with Level 1 podcast right now. So a shout out to him for that. That was a good look. That's where I need to go. Destin, if you're watching, I think I asked you, hey, get me on Unlock if you can. But I don't think Ryan likes me too much. I really don't think he likes me too much. But I want to get on. No, obviously the Kind of Funny XCast. I like the guys over there. Like I said, I did say we would have RGT on this week. I apologize. I didn't lie. We had to do some switch up. He will be here next week, and maybe some Nintendo stuff we could talk about. But RGT is a good dude. One of my favorite dudes on YouTube. But yeah, crap. Like what, bro? Dre, you did a video. I'm sorry. This is Planet Xbox, but I'm not going to spend too much time on this, Chris. I'm not, because this is an Xbox show. But
hold on, but before you do that,
go ahead.
I know you're about to talk about PlayStation.
Yeah.
I want to say happy birthday to my bro. Jay Barry, the best on YouTube.
Shout out.
Oh,
happy birthday!
Shout out, man.
Shout out to him and Persona's podcast, which is called "What's Up PlayStation," which is a PlayStation centric podcast where they only talk about PlayStation and they never mention Xbox or Nintendo. They keep it authentic to the brand.
No, it is facts.
Yeah, that's facts.
It's facts.
Yeah, that's a shock,
okay.
but that's good though.
Go ahead.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, Chris. That's funny coming from Chris, as he's a part of a PlayStation podcast that only talks about Xbox every week.
Nah, they talk about in general.
Shout out to Salty.
We talk about all that.
We was on Salty's Gamers podcast last week. Yeah, shout out to him.
So Salty gets on the Xbox. I sent him a party invite. I don't know if he don't got a headset or I sent a party invite. I was going to spill all the beans on the Ascent for him, but he didn't join. But every time I see Salty, it's not like he's doing all this gaming. This dude's always on Disney Plus. So shout out to Salty when he's on the Xbox. He does all his gaming on PlayStation. And he does Disney Plus on Xbox. So you bought your Xbox for Disney Plus. Who does that?
Don't they have Disney Plus on PlayStation or no?
No, Disney Plus.
They do, yeah. They do. They got it.
So
it got HDR on the Xbox.
All right, Congratulations to the other side, the PlayStation 5. Fastest to 10 million. I know everybody's happy about that, which is cool. The fastest selling console in history so far, right? Up until this point. Shout out to Xbox because this is also, even though it's not the fastest selling console, but it is the fastest selling Xbox.
It's the fastest selling Xbox. That's what's up. Shout out to Xbox. Now, I want to mention something with like the 10 million real quick because as soon as it's reported, right?
Yeah.
That it was 10 million sold, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing for people, right? Like on that Xbox, like the fanboys, right?
Yeah.
The first thing they start mentioning is, well, it's because of the scalpers and this because of this, that, and third, and it's because of all the scalpers, which first of all, I think that argument is complete bullshit because people were buying PS5. People were buying a lot of PS5s from scalpers at 2 to 3 times the price, which goes to show you the insane amount of demand for that if people are willing, and for Xbox as well, right? That like Xbox is also being scalped, but whenever we hear like the mention of like this Xbox sold 6.5 million, whatever, nobody from that side mentioned, oh, is it because of scalper? Not even PlayStation fanboys started mentioning scalpers or whatever. Nobody mentioned scalpers and anything. But when it comes to PlayStation and that milestones, they try to downplay it with the scalper situation, knowing that PlayStation scalp PlayStations are being sold, and eventually all those scalp PlayStations that people have in stock, they're eventually going to come down in price and eventually going to get sold to consumers. So that to me, that's a dumb argument when anybody brings that up. Both of these consoles are doing very well. Xbox, despite the hate that it gets and some of the things that I don't like about it, it's doing extremely well for what it needs to do. Right, 6.5 million fastest selling. It's selling if it's selling faster than the 360. That is a W right there.
360 and Xbox One.
I just think that whole scalper argument or excuse or whatever, that shit. To me, that's just as dumb as like the install base argument, in my opinion.
Hey, my excuse of why PlayStation has sold more than Xbox were always these two, right? People don't like this answer, but one, they produce more consoles, and RDNA 1 chips are more rapidly available than RDNA 2 chips. I said that several times.
Stop.
I said that several times. That's all.
So
Smooth. The scout.
Hey, that Unreal 5 demo was
you setting yourself up, Smooth. Don't do it. Don't get these fanboys in these chat.
But all right, but no, shout outs to them because it was a good feat. Because I know VG charts have been reporting on it, and like I said, I try not to run with things that VG charts do until
PlayStation reported it.
No, PlayStation reported it today, but last week it was VG charts that were doing it, and people were running with that. And I'm I'm gonna stay away from that until they officially confirm. Because I was like, if it hit that number, PlayStation should be saying something fairly soon.
Can I also say this? Microsoft generated revenue from Xbox is plus 37.2% year over year. At this point in time, so like even though last year was the pandemic, and last year was a record year for everyone. It was an insane the amount of units that were being sold, not only from a console side but from software side because everyone was essentially at home worldwide. This year they're doing even better in terms of revenue generated from Xbox. So it's insane like how much momentum everyone has. Nintendo, Xbox. Even look at the Steam Deck. As much as I like to troll Steam Deck and shit on that, like Steam Deck sold out reservations. So like gaming is popping right now. Everyone's tuned in. We got Gaming Addict in here. Yo.
Hold on. I want to say.
What a time to be loud.
I want to say something because Salty brought that up in the chat because that Daniel Ahmed guy or whatever, he was talking about how like the numbers that they reported as far as the 6.5 is shipped, and then the numbers that PlayStation, the 10 million, is actually sold to consumer. I don't think that the ship numbers matter because the Xbox is still like selling out, right? Like it's still hard to find like a Series X or whatever. I don't know about the Series S, but I would say that even if like the 6.5 million is just shipped and not entirely accurate to like sold to consumers, I would still count it as that like it could, because it's gonna get there to consumers. So I would still count it as 6.5 million. You know what I mean? I'll still count it as that.
I'm there with you. I've never like. I figured if something shipped, it's sold. Like they've already gotten paid. That's for anything. For the most part, unless like you have a really bad product, your stuff's not just sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're both selling great. So shout out to gaming, shout out to Switch, shout out to all this shit, man. It's better for us, man, that more people are getting into gaming with these consoles. So.
All right, but that's not what. All right, so what else came out? Because some numbers came out with this as well, which is kind of like, I guess.
All right, man. Come on, cut it out, man. Let's talk about Returnal flopping. Flop. Let's talk about that. Stop playing. Flop.
All right, so let me get the numbers for you guys right now. So, obviously, PlayStation 5 sold 10 million units.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man Miles Morales was 6.5 plus units sold. MLB The Show was 2 million units sold. Which most of it, well, not most of it, but some of it was from Game Pass. Thank you, congratulations. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was 1.1.
There was that number is about it sold 2 million, but there's 4 million active players
on Xbox. Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Game Pass. Congratulations. And then Returnal is 560,000+ units sold. What the hell was that? Now, wow. I personally like Returnal. I think it's a good game. It is not bad whatsoever, but that is not a great number.
That was low even for what I thought. I thought it sold maybe 1.5, like maybe low 2, like because it's like one of the only games you can play on the PlayStation 5 that's only on the PlayStation 5. So usually when you have like games that's coming out at the beginning of a generation, they naturally get a little bit more of a buff in terms of their sales wise. We saw games like Rise, Son of Rome at the beginning of the Xbox One generation. It's debatable. We don't know what that game would have sold, but it probably helped it because it was at the beginning of the generation. So it is weird that Returnal it underperformed even for me, and I didn't even have a whole lot of faith in it because I know it's not like a huge type of genre that everyone jumps on, but I did expect that it probably pushed at least 1 million plus.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean,
somebody cut out. Well, yeah, I mean, PlayStation is saying it's a hit for them. So can anybody tell me what the budget and what the sales expectations internally was for Returnal? For anybody to say that it was a flop?
I don't like that, man. That's I just did a live stream about this, right? I don't like that because if you want to think logically about it, sure, okay, but that's not how we do things around. That's not how we get our jokes off.
He's like, we ain't doing this. We messy. We gonna act messy 24/7.
Listen, that's never been the way that we did things in terms of if it's flopped or not. If it's 1 million or above is a success. If you didn't sell 1 million, it's a flop. And that's the same thing what happened with Gears 4. Gears 4 sold like 700,000-800,000, and everybody called it a flop.
It's a fact.
To be honest with you, like I think it's even worse because it's like I honestly did not even think of a world where this game didn't sell at least 1 million. That is the kind of numbers that PC people build up for Steam. Like, think about that. That's the numbers that all these random games on PC sell. They're like huge success. Now, look, obviously, Returnal. I don't know how much money they spent on the platform. It probably made some profit, but at the end of the day, I don't know what it was. But we've seen scenarios like Days Gone 2 where a profit didn't matter. They wanted more money and they didn't get a sequel because of it. So.
Not only just that, but Metacritic scores are a big thing as well when it comes to not only just Sony, but like publishers all together. I recently listened to a podcast with Moore's Law is Dead. He was interviewing a dev that used to work at Treyarch, and now he's working at Santa Monica, and he confirmed that like Metacritic scores matter. So like it's not just sales, but it's the combination of sales and Metacritic score, which Returnal reviewed pretty well. Like it wasn't bad, but the fact that like if you're just on Twitter, right, Twitter and YouTube, you would think Returnal sold over 1 million with the way people were hyping it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the reality is different from that. And like I think a game like Ratchet and Clank should have sold at least 2 million. That's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people came at me for that.
This is remember now. What's their sales? Because remember, Ratchet and Clank was the best selling of the franchise so far in terms.
It was the best selling.
No.
It's not just that, but it's the best looking game, like arguably the best looking game on the PS5. It's supposed to be a showcase of the PS5's architecture because it's a PS5 exclusive. It's Insomniac Games, which people have been telling me like, is Insomniac one of the best Sony developers? Which, all right, if you want to have the argument, fine, but Like, let's
Hold
not
on, wait.
put them over Naughty Dog or Santa Monica. Like, we can't do that yet.
I think
But
I
if
got
you-
that wrong though.
What's up?
I don't think it's the best selling Ratchet. I think it's the fastest selling.
Fastest selling, yeah.
Yeah,
Fast
it's not the
selling. Yeah,
best
yeah,
selling.
yeah.
Right as of right now, it's not the best selling.
Like, I
Yeah,
thought
it's-
that game in particular should have sold at least 2 million.
I said
You know why
3.
it's not the,
That-
you know
that's
why
just
it's
me
not,
though.
you know why it's not the best selling right now? Because this is not lifetime sales. The games are
Right,
still
right,
selling.
right.
You know what I mean? Returnal's not gonna stop at 500K. The game's gonna
Damn,
sell.
I mean, it came out 6 months ago. I don't know. If
No, it
it's
didn't. It came out like 3 months ago. It came out 3 months.
I mean,
We're at what? We're at what? 3
Look,
months.
Yeah.
3 months.
to be
Ratchet
honest
came
with
out
you-
like a month and a half ago. Go ahead, man.
I'm used to
To be
PlayStation games selling 5 million in 3 days or some shit like that, right?
well,
Isn't that the case?
you used to PlayStation template games selling 5 million plus.
Oh.
Hey, let's be real here. Let's be real
Perfect
here. Like,
little template. Yeah,
you're
you're right.
used
You're
to
right.
those type of template games, and they do well because their studios know how to really sell those type of games. I mean, Microsoft they don't have those type of games, and I feel like Sony has on that platform demanded those type of games.
Yes,
and you've seen it in the sales because obviously this didn't appeal to the average consumer that they would appeal to with The Last of Us. Is the Days Gone with even Days Gone sold better than this. So
Here's the thing, Addict. I have a question.
It was also on a higher
you
install-
would
Go
look
ahead.
at Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank seems like a more accessible game that can appeal to a wider audience than a Days Gone or Last of Us, but it still performed poorly. And it's like the game isn't bad. It's genuinely a good game. It's great looking. It has some of the best ray tracing in the industry across all platforms, not just PlayStation, but you look at PC implementations, you look at Xbox implementations, like the ray tracing in that game is amazing. And the gameplay isn't bad, but the fact that that game only sold 1.1 is like really shocking to me, and it's a known franchise. It's not like it's not a known IP. Like Ratchet and Clank has been around for many, many years. You would assume it would be a flagship title for PlayStation at this point, but it's not.
the thing
You
is,
had a-
Do you
Hey,
think
Bingo.
They had a whole
if Ratchet was a launch title, if it would have sold, if it would have had a higher attach rate, if it was a launch
it would
title?
have sold higher, but at the end of the day, this is the
'Cause, like-
PS5 and it is on a smaller install base.
Well,
like
Oh,
but, well,
but
I
I
get
think-
that, but when you look at Spider-Man Miles Morales, like that's crazy.
that was on
that's-
PS4 too.
Yeah.
But is
Yeah,
that, is
that
I
that
think
was
you're missing a big point though.
It was on PS4, and people were saying the same thing. Well, this is low, blah blah, blah. And then
But what was
kept
the attach?
increasing the sale, right? Just like hold on, but
Oh.
just like Ratchet and Clank,
You
The
can
sales
hear anything you say,
increased.
man.
gosh,
Oh,
you
you
breaking up bad.
So,
I think I'm missing a
Anyway.
big point though, right? Because Ratchet and Clank appeals to a way bigger audience than, let's say, like a Returnal does, right?
yeah.
It does.
So
It's
so
selling
that
like
that they have that demographic of kids to teenagers, even to adults, right? And to only sell 1.1 of a known franchise back from the PS2 days.
Like, yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm
this,
saying.
This
like,
ain't no
what?
new IP. It's not a new IP. You did? Like, this is Ratchet and Clank. This
well, I
is-
mean, you
but it's
gotta
the
look.
fastest selling out of the franchise. It's selling
I
more
get
than all the other Ratchet and
no,
Clank.
no doubt about that. No
you
doubt.
gotta look at it from like a lot of the big titles. Either this goes for Xbox too, that sold those 10 million, 20 million plus. They were attachments to a console, and they
Yeah.
consider that a sale. So, do you think that Uncharted 4 really sold as many as it did? No, it was a combo with the console, and I remember that one was actually a while.
The Last of Us did that. Like,
Yeah,
too.
so that's what you'll see with these. Like a lot of these games don't really sell that many. They just get that little cushion when they actually like bundle it on to
Like
something.
they bundle.
Does that mean
Yeah.
it's a worse game? No, but
No.
that is happening with a lot of. I mean, I remember one year, PlayStation had like God of War, I think Last of Us the Part 1, and another game. All was
Oh yeah, bundled with PS4.
was bundled with the PS4 for
Yeah,
that
you're right.
holiday.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And you got to consider like what just one holiday. Let's say they bundle Uncharted, and I remember there for a while, Uncharted 4 was coming with every PlayStation.
Mhm.
So you got to keep in mind that they're selling these millions upon millions throughout the couple months, throughout the couple years. That's being added on to the overall number of that game sold.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bless, right? Because he just reminded me something. this Ratchet and Clank doubled its sales from the 2016 Ratchet and Clank at launch, which was at $40, and that was at a much bigger install base. So I don't get the downplay. Like Ratchet and Clank has never been like a 10 million seller. Like
I don't like I said. I didn't expect. I expected too.
He was just.
If Horizon, for example, like if Horizon Forbidden West, because since the first one sold around 10 million, right, 10 million plus or whatever. If the next one comes out and then we hear in 30 days that only did like 1.1, 1.2 million, that is a huge flop for a game like that because the last one did so much. But Ratchet and Clank is doing better than every single Ratchet and Clank before it. That's why I don't get the downplay.
I guess the downplay.
I don't downplay. Like it's expectations.
I think the downplay. It's like
that's your personal expectation. We don't know what Sony expected.
I would say the downplay is there for the simple fact of what we're used to seeing games exclusive sell on like PlayStation. I mean,
at a higher install base.
This is a known IP.
I mean, because Spider like
known IP.
But
what is the reason for Spider-Man?
They're selling the best out of all.
Hold on, Smoke. Hold on, Smoke. Y'all gotta stop comparing things to Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man is a global phenomenon, right? So things aren't going to match up to Spider-Man.
All right,
so
what was the last
I think we gotta stop that
to sell like respectively well on from?
I mean, we can't talk about Returnal, so that's out.
That's out the window. That's done.
Go to Tsushima.
Matter of fact, yo, see, I'm not gonna do this on this podcast. I'm gonna do it on another video, but I feel like going ham on that damn game. All that shit, all these people were talking.
Hey, you know what it is. Shout out to Caution in the chat. Yes, this is Planet Xbox, and we are talking about PlayStation sales. Yes. Yes,
this is my only time to act like freaking Salty and Willy. Shout out to them.
I mean, this isn't anything new either. So I mean, like, it's not like this just happening. So
we got some super chats.
We gotta keep in mind too. It's dead as hell out here right now, man. It's dry.
Not for Xbox.
Not for Xbox.
Let's be real here. No one here playing Flight Simulator like that.
No, I flew around Newark International.
Can we talk about that real quick?
Let me read these super chats and we gonna dive in.
Yeah,
read the super chats.
Got nothing going too. So
we're gonna read the super chats and we're gonna read the super chats. We're gonna go in because I got some shit to talk about. All those people talking shit. So shout out to Carlos Alvarado. MLB The Show outsells RNC thanks to the Xbox Game Pass. Shout out to you, buddy. Thanks for the $2. Emmanuel A1. Yeah. Because Game Pass.
Yes. I told you MLB was a dead franchise before it came to Xbox. Facts.
I'm not saying that.
How many of y'all playing it?
Oh, I didn't even download that, man. They gave it to me for free. I still didn't even get that shit.
Game Pass don't count as a sale.
No. But it creates awareness and it's sold out on Xbox.
Active
user. You can ask Kid Smooth. I didn't give two shits about
I just played enough to get a couple of achievements. That's all.
No, but there's a lot of. Here's the thing. Like, regardless how that game sold, it needed to happen. Like, there's a lot of people on that franchise that wanted to play, and clearly the MLB license ain't cheap. I don't think it was happening unless it happened the way it did. But we still got to respect the savageness that Phil Spencer and that team had to get that shit on Game Pass day one. Like,
shout out to Emmanuel.
That's more.
What happened? Who we lose? Okay. Shout out to Emmanuel A1. He said the reality of the situation is that PlayStation is a platform for casual gamers. 80% of the install base don't care about Sony's first party trash.
That's cap. What?
Yeah, that's not true.
Whoa. What's the first thing I hear all the time? Real gamers on PlayStation. He's 80%. Nah.
Let him troll.
And we gotta address something too. Like, just because you guys don't like Flight Simulator, I booted it up just to see what it was. I'm probably gonna uninstall it pretty fast, but like let's like sit here and try to say, oh, it's a simulation. It's a simulator. It's not a game. Yeah. Like, come on. No, that is a game. Just like Gran Turismo's a game. Just
it's a game.
It is a game.
We're gonna talk about it. Let me get.
But Major Nelson said that though.
We're gonna get through the super chat.
We got two more super chats.
Yeah, Carlos Alvarado says Returnal would have done better as a multi-plat.
Probably, most likely. Yeah. I agree with that.
Drop that joint on PC, baby.
Verge Brizzle. It's going on PC. You only sell 500K. It's going on PC.
Do you guys think the $70 price hurt Returnal more than anyone else?
I think for a new IP,
yes, absolutely.
I think it's a variety of factors. I think it's not just the price, but it's also the style of game that it is. Like I've said, I like Returnal. It's not a bad game, but that game is not going to appeal to like a wide variety of gamers. Thus, why the sales are what it is. It's if the game was 60 or 50, could it have sold more? Probably, but I think it's just the style of the game. People seen it was like, oh, I'm not interested.
I was about to say, like, a lot of people went. Oh, my fault, Chris.
I was gonna say, I think even at 60, I think it probably would have done similar numbers.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, because I don't. Think
well, I'm not. Go ahead and finish.
No, I was gonna say because, like what Jay is saying, the type of game it is, it's a very one of a kind type of game. Like as far as like a roguelike or whatever. Because look at Hades, right? Hades is very successful, but Hades was on PC and Switch for a long ass time, and it only reached like just 1 million lifetime sales for like $30. I mean, it's going to be more than that once it release to other consoles or whatever. But the genre of this style of game is very niche. My bad. Go ahead.
And then a lot of people bought that game still not knowing what it was. So like they was going into that game thinking it was the typical Sony third-person shooter.
Yeah,
you dig? And then when them prostates start getting checked, you know, they dropped it.
Yeah.
So
Get smooth.
Shout out to Verge Brizzo with the $2 super chat. He says, shout out to Dre Addict. I'm playing FS. That means he's Flight Simulator, I believe. Verge Brizzo can smooth read the chat. Yes, I can read the chat. Appreciate it.
We can read the chat. There's just we have a lot of stuff to talk about. So like we can't engage with the chat too much.
Let's talk about Flight Sim. No, it is here. It is the Flight Sim is the highest rated game of the year. The Xbox Series X version is the highest rated version. And it goes in line to what I said. I said, okay, this whole Xbox ain't got no game thing is over. Every game from now on is going to be an 85 or better, and I'm off to a blazing start. Flight Sim is here. It looks great. They did the Digital Foundry thing. They say this is like close to PC Ultra settings. Oh, this is.
Yo, do not let Kiss move fool y'all. He is capping for this game, dog. He is capping for this game.
He came out with the Xbox swag and everything ready.
Hey, Kiss Move. Tell me two planes you flew in Flight Sim.
I flew one plane and I flew it around Newark, New Jersey several times.
You can't name the model plane.
No, it's just like a little budget ass plane you can fit only 2 people in.
Little budget.
I just downloaded an actual passenger plane, but it's downloading now along with.
You mean those Boeing ones?
Yeah, the Boeing, yeah. So make sure you download all this other stuff because there's texture packs and stuff that's available for free to help there. And you should you don't have to download the offline mode because that's the uglier version. The online version is the one they're using the satellite, so you get the better
satellites,
visuals
that's
and
the better
shit like
version.
that. But
so tight.
I'm gonna let you guys talk shit before I gloat over the game. So
hold on. Hey, chat, just to let y'all know, before the podcast started, Kiss Move said that all he was gonna do is fly to the Bermuda Triangle and then uninstall it.
That's cap. He ain't say that. Let's go. Anyways,
no, he did say that.
Flight Sim.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was never interested in the game. I could have played this joint on PC months ago. I did not install it, so I'm not going to be capping for Flight Sim. It reviewed well. I'm gonna leave it at that. Go ahead, guys.
I think. Yeah. No, I was gonna say the same thing. Like, as far as like a simulator, I'm sure it's the best in its class. There's not too many flight simulators that are out there, but I'm sure as far as simulation is pretty accurate and it's pretty detailed from what I saw. Yeah. I've been watching. I watched a little bit of stream from my guy, Stealth Gaming Guy. He's been playing this shit since last year on PC or whatever, and he gets really into it. Like, you talking about bringing out snacks from the flight attendants and all that shit, right? Damn. Yeah. So like, as far as like what the game is, it's reviewed extremely well. But like, for me, this would not, even if I had if I had Game Pass right now, I would not download it, and because I have no interest of playing this type of game. It's not my cup of tea.
It isn't your type of game.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Same. I mean, it's good that it's on the platform. We said stuff like Gears Tactics, Flight Simulator. I can understand why Flight Simulator wasn't because it couldn't run on the Xbox One. But now since we have the Series X and the Series S, if a game can run on the console, it better not be exclusive to the PC. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, facts.
Like, if this whole Age of Empire, I don't want nothing to do with Age of Empires, but if it can run on Xbox, it should be there. Hey, but I want nothing to do with that type of game. But
I'll play it. I'm gonna play it.
I beat Gears Tactics. So
yeah.
I won't.
Did you like it? Like, is Gears like Tactics like really fun? Because I'm thinking about that game.
It's a great game. It's just like I'm a huge XCOM fan, and
Yeah.
I personally feel like that game has a lot of aspects that XCOM doesn't have in terms of like combat, but like the micromanaging, I'm a huge fan of that in XCOM. And it fell slack a little bit there, but I do feel like it is a game that they can really build off of, and we can have better versions in the future.
Yeah. I would take Gears tactic character and locations in a regular Gears game. So make Gears Judgment 2 and make it those characters. Like this real time. I'm sorry, I'm stubborn. I'm like I should have learned how to play these type of games like when I was younger. I would never want to learn now. So
that's why you're playing all easy.
Oh, he's definitely playing that game on easy.
Yeah, no, he already did.
No denying that to me.
You already posted the screenshot.
The screenshot for Flight Sim.
Okay, Smooth. You'll put. No, I was talking about Gears Tactics. He plays Gears Tactics on easy. He's still losing. So
I'm getting killed by wretches and shit like that. Dre, man, your thought because you were starting to sound spicy when it came to Flight Sim. What's up? What
you got? What's the smoke at, bro?
I just don't think this is the game y'all should be championing.
It's a 92 on Metacritic.
It's the 92 based off the PC version.
Nah, it got no, bro. I gotta use all the swords that's always used against me. I got now one of the highest rated, and I said the highest rated game of the year. These people are talking about fucking Demon Souls. That came out last year. It's an old game, buddy. I'm talking about the one that's coming out this year. The Xbox Series X version has a higher score
I'm gonna be real with
than
you,
the PC version for now.
I'm gonna be real with you, kid. I'd rather play Demon Souls 3 times before I play Flight Simulator 1.
It does not change the fact that Flight Simulator on Xbox Series X and S scored a 92.
Good look.
Smooth. Guess what? You played it. If anybody tried to be like, yo, did you play the game? You played it.
Yeah, I played
There you go. You played it.
The thing is, why it's important is I've always stated the biggest thing that needs to happen with Game Pass is diversity. There needs to be multiple genres for everyone. And if this might not be for you, and it's definitely not for me, I might play just to fly where I live because I there's no map, so I'm just completely lost. Like I'm just sitting there like, do I fly? I don't know where I am on the geographic map compared to somewhere else.
It tells you, like, just look, and it tells you where
the range.
Type in your address, and it just takes you there.
No, you type in the airport.
You type in the airport close to where you're.
But the thing is I have to drive an hour and a half just to get to my airport. So, but
that's 2 minutes on a plane.
I get that, but I guess you're right, but I ain't doing that shit. Nah,
Oh, we got 2 super chats in here.
All right, and then I want to get Dre's thing. So shout out to Carlos Alvarado again. He says 10 million PS5 sold, 1.1 and Ratchet and Clank sales. They buy games? Question mark.
Damn.
All right. That's,
well, let's look at the Xbox physical sale numbers. Then.
Carlos Alvarado says for $2. He says 268 days, still no SSD. When do they demand better? Oh, he's doing a countdown.
We talked about that last week. Go, Carlos. Carlos, go to the last episode. We exposed that already.
I made a video about that too, man. I made a video about it.
I mean, for real, I said it on the Addict show. We need to have this. Stop having this mentality where it's like, we can demand better games from Microsoft, which we do, but when it comes to features, no one wants to say that. Like, I want every platform being the best it possibly can. That includes PlayStation, enabling simple stuff like gifting. Like, how is gifting not on PlayStation yet? It's been on Xbox for a while.
I'm sorry
now.
to interrupt this, but Addict, you must be using your camera. Your new camera, because you look very,
that
you look
shit look crisp.
Very good. You look very, very good. It's like,
man, I don't know how I feel about you saying I look.
You look very good, sir.
Nah, that camera is fire though.
This camera,
that's a Sony camera, right?
Yo, I'm like, holy crap.
This camera was not cheap.
Yo, my man, 4K. 4K?
Yeah, he looked like he's about to do one of those fucking videos that what's it? It looked like you about to do an actual production like FaceTime video. So
my man got the Destin. He got the Destin Legary camera.
Actually, we have the same camera. We do.
Damn! You see, I see you guys out here with the big budget.
Somebody got to put me on game. Where do I sign that Iron Lord's contract to get that camera? Oh man!
Look, man, the camera comes with a receipt that you need to pay for up front.
Shout out to another super chat.
DJ Birdo Dulce. He says for $5. Wasn't y'all capping for Dreams last year? Now y'all saying Smooth can't cap for Flight Sim. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go.
Who's y'all? Because I've been saying
Checkmate.
that Dream was
Checkmate.
mid, and I didn't want nothing to do with Dreams. I didn't even buy Dreams. I wasn't interested.
Nah,
in it.
you said Dreams is trash.
Dre.
It's just it's like I said with that.
that's what I was
Like,
saying.
regardless how you feel about Dreams, I don't care about Sea of Thieves, but clearly that's one of the biggest phenomena this entire last generation. So, I don't like it, but people do, and the whole point of a game system is to be diverse. If that's one of the reasons PlayStation's been so dominant, is because they've always had a diverse library, whether or not it's first party stuff or third party stuff.
Yep.
Dre.
Yo. Yo.
Tell me about this flight sim because I'm waiting. I'm ready for the smoke.
Oh no, I don't got nothing for the flight sim.
Because I seen people online talking hella shit. The niggas purposely. I'm sorry, Chris. No disrespect, but I got it.
You ain't no
I got
better.
to generalize.
You ain't no
These
better. Go ahead.
PlayStation dudes are amongst the most idiotic people when it comes to video
You
games.
ain't no better.
These motherfuckers, like when it comes, I swear these dudes will break a
I'll be
game
back.
to show you a game's flaws.
Oh, didn't y'all do that with Spider-Man?
I don't care, bro. Hold on.
Didn't y'all do that with Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Smooth ain't no
Y'all
better,
did
bro.
that.
Did
Yeah,
what with
no
Spider-Man? I
better
love
than-
Spider-Man. What
with
the
Spider-Man.
hell?
Hell
What did
Spider-Man Reflections.
What's
the reflections
I
looking
know
like?
what he talking about.
You
He's
know,
talking
people
about
on the
when I
boat?
was watching
The
the
boat
boat people in the flying ice cream truck.
Yeah, y'all did that.
But I had a mission on the docks where it sent me to the water. So that's the only reason why I saw that. But these dudes are taking planes and flying them to the ground. I'm like,
man,
yo,
you can
you're
do
supposed to fly
That's
a
it.
plane.
Look at how terrible
But I
these
said
textures
that I was
are.
gonna do that though. Like I said that I was gonna get in a plane and fly that janky to the ground. So
People act like they ain't know
Yeah.
that. Yo, we been doing this. Like what? Like
Smooth.
yo, dude,
Smooth.
people
A
are
lot
doing that
of
on PC.
Hold on, exactly. A lot of people, whether it's PlayStation guys, even Xbox guys, a lot of them are going to do that. A lot of them are going to take the plane, they're going to crash into a building. They're probably going to go to New York, crash into a fucking building or some shit like that. So that's expected.
Yeah, but the
Nah,
thing is
the
about
most egregious. Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead, get it out the way. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I was gonna say the most egregious shit was the Unreal Engine 5 showcase from
Oh, we gonna that's
for
separate.
the
That's
showcase.
separate. We'll
Coalition.
talk. We'll
Yeah,
talk.
all right, yeah. All right, so what we want to hop into next?
No,
We got
I'm
a lot
not
of
done
shit.
about Flight Simulator. It's the net. Xbox secures highest rated game of the year. Play Xbox episode 7. I'm obviously talking about Flight Sim, right?
Flight Sim's at 92, right?
92, right?
Okay,
Not
okay.
one
Reviews
negative.
does it have?
It got 22,
Just curious.
21 or 20.
22.
22?
Oh yeah, assuming
Do I
Horizon
like
comes out.
PlayStation?
Horizon getting the
Like
91.
100 reviews.
Bro, it doesn't
Horizon-
need 100.
Horizon
It's
getting
all-
91.
like, I'm not taking away from it. It got that score, fair and square. I'm not taking away from it.
But like,
Do we honestly believe that Horizon's coming out this year? Or not?
no.
that
PlayStation
shit
is
getting
done
delayed.
this year.
Probably.
I'm sorry.
I just want to.
You know what's funny?
I don't believe it's coming out this year either.
You know
It's
what's
not.
funny?
It's
You can
not.
ask Kid Smooth. I told him months ago that was delayed to 2022, and he told me there's no way.
And that's some bullshit too, man. Because they give us this 14-minute demo,
Mhm.
and then we ain't hear shit. We haven't heard
Yep.
shit since shit yet.
There's
Like,
that demo.
like
So here's the biggest question: Do you think they
Almost
have?
August.
Do you think they have another like E3 type of conference left?
I heard it was
'cause
rumored to be August
maybe.
6th, right? The new rumor date.
The
I
rumors
don't know,
August,
man.
but I don't go off for none of this.
I don't know.
PlayStation
Wasn't it
rumors
supposed to
because
be
they're
like
all
what?
full of shit,
Wasn't it
but-
supposed to be yesterday?
Nah.
I don't know.
Wonton Soup got the sources though. What you mean?
Oh yeah,
I'll
well,
put
I'm
it-
getting his sources correct. I ain't gonna lie, you be getting, but I feel like I do think there's gonna be a actual like
Mhm.
PlayStation 5, a big PlayStation 5 showcase.
Mhm.
I just don't think I don't know. As far as like Horizon, like a month ago, I was like, yeah, it's definitely coming out this year, but now I'm very, very skeptical. I think that it's probably getting delayed.
I think
Yeah.
I think they will have one too, but it is kind of interesting. Like I feel like the reason that they're not having it so early, like they usually do around E3, is because I don't think they have games coming out this year at the holiday like that. Because I mean, we're about to hit August. I mean, I guess they can do like 1 or 2 months of advertising. Because I mean, they don't really launch games in the holiday like that. You don't really see games of theirs coming out in like November, October for the most part.
They did with Death Stranding. Death Stranding launched in November.
I
That was
get
the last
that.
game.
No wonder it flopped.
So here's the thing is though, damn, I forgot what because I think this I said this on Let's Talk Games podcast. Me and Dre up every Friday and then sometimes Saturday. But
Shout out.
I said I think I phrased it like this. I said PlayStation's biggest game of the year already come out, or is it
Already
still
come out, yeah.
So
I remember you said that. Mm-hmm.
My thing was, all right, that would be Ratchet, because what is your projections for Deathloop?
Deathloop's coming out this year.
I know it's coming out this year, but what's the expectations at this point in terms of
85 plus? 85
I ain't got
plus.
none.
It's not gonna be a huge game. It's not
85,
gonna be like
85 Metacritic plus.
So
you talking about like as far as like it being like a mega success?
Yeah,
It's not.
the game that
I don't see it being because it's PS5 on. I don't see it doing better than what Ratchet did at all.
I don't. You're probably right, but I feel like that game appeals to more people than something like Ratchet does. Like I don't know, because Ratchet and Clank can appeal to like the casual audience and a lot of the younger audience, but to me, I don't know, man. Like maybe
From what I'm told, that the targeted audience is 18 to 34. That's what I was told. That's what I was told. It was
Ratchet. Anybody can hop on Ratchet and play that game.
Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
everybody.
That's everyone's type of game.
It like being a
and
kid
it
game.
was
you know?
it was a good game, but like I did think it was over Burner just a little bit, like
A little bit,
Let me
yeah.
read
I
these
like
super
it.
chats
I enjoyed
before
it.
they get mad at me. Shout out to Tiger Bro. He's coming at me. He says $4.99. Smooth criticized Spider-Man's reflections and puddles, but thinks Psychonauts 2 look good. Okay. I never said I think Psychonauts 2 looks good. I think it looks good for what it is. I'm just happy that it's 120 frames per second, sir. Donatati,
I think
my man, he says $2. Horizon getting an 88, Kenna getting an 84, and Kenna is delayed.
But I say Kenner just got delayed.
No, that's the interesting part is that Canada
It's like
got
3
delayed
days.
in September.
3 days before Deathloop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow, dude. That because I was really looking forward for
because-
Kenna for August. Like August was gonna be Kenna. I was gonna play that. It got delayed. It's like, why? Like, I mean, I understand why.
They
Like,
said
I'm not-
polish. Yeah.
They
Because
said they got
gotta-
polished the game.
A
I was
lot
like,
of games
yeah,
are
like,
being delayed. I don't.
It's just
understand why that's
unfortunate.
surprising.
I'm not gonna lie, Chris. You said it. You called early, like last year. You said, "Yo, a lot of these games are gonna get delayed," and you weren't happy.
Well, I mean, me and Kid Smooth's been saying for a while, like COVID pushed games back a lot more than people think. Like a lot more than people think. Like we haven't even really hit the actual dry spell of gaming. Like when these games why you think E3 this year was so lackluster? Because the amount of games that was pushed back, the developers and publishers is either A, waste more resources to make these gameplay features that they have on these that they take to these events, or just let them still work on the game and prevent it from possibly getting delayed again and make CGI videos, because that might be more expensive. But I think at this point they want the game out at the time that is the best appropriate for them than spending a little bit more money so they don't have to waste any of the actual talent to make the use.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously COVID has a lot of effect and stuff like that, because there was supposed to be games that are coming out for Xbox this year that got delayed to next year, if I'm not mistaken. There was supposed to be a lot more games coming out for PS5. Like Deathloop got delayed like 3 times. Kenna was supposed to be around like the end of last year and stuff like that. So obviously this whole COVID I always wonder what the situation would be if if COVID didn't happen. How different like the situation would be as far as like gaming outputs. I think there'll be like lot more. I think this would have been like the best
it depends on
one.
the studio. It depends on the studio as well. Because like I listened to a podcast with a former Treyarch dev, and he's working at Santa Monica, and he said that certain people that are working at some of these studios, like they were working a bit more efficiently from home because like being at the office, they were working really really long hours. So I guess it depends on like when the game has to be shipped, as well as like the time it takes to make a certain game, because not every studio is gonna work under the same pressure. Like Call of Duty, for example. Like Call of Duty has to be shipped every single year. So obviously all hands are on deck. They're gonna bring in support studios to make a game like that. But a game like Kendall, for example, like they can delay the game and take their time because they don't have a big publisher over their head. Or even like a Deathloop. Like they're not gonna be too keen to say, hey, like we have to ship this game at this date and make sure that we're gonna release the game. Like nobody wants the Cyberpunk situation to happen again.
And you know what's funny? Microsoft damn sure ain't gonna hire more help to help a PlayStation game out quicker. They're like, oh, Deathloop, we need like 6 more months. That's fine. But I thought we had deadline. No more deadline. Just get it out when it comes out.
Yo, wasn't it Barry said that too? It's like he think that Microsoft has something to do with the Deathloop delay. I don't think so at all.
I don't think
I don't think so at all. Because why would they do that? Because they will also be delaying Deathloop to come on their platform as well, because it's a year-time exclusive. So if Microsoft had anything to do with delay, which I'm like 99.9% like in belief that they didn't, it wouldn't make sense, because if they say, hey, we want to delay, to make Sony's lineup sparse or whatever, but you're also going to be delaying the game coming on the Xbox as well.
Yeah.
I don't think that they necessarily care about that. I think it comes down to, it's like, look, if the game's not done, we're not going to hire external help. We're not pulling people off 343 to help you. You work on this game at your pace to finish this game with your studio. We're not hiring external help. And, even if this game gets delayed, first off, what's worse, this game getting, delayed to a year where they're already good, or this game coming out at a time where Sony needs it? Next year, the game, what they were supposed to have, that other one from Tango Studio this year.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
They were supposed to have, the Death's Door, whatever it's called this year. Deathloop or whatever. So it's like, look, like, imagine if they would have came out the same year within a couple months of each other. That would have made PlayStation look pretty good. They have that exclusive content, but now they've separated. I don't know if it's intentional, but all I'm saying is I don't think Microsoft's intentionally messing anything up.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think they're on that when they come to them, and like, a lot of their studios will help each other. I don't think we're not taking resources for other people for you to get Deathloop out on the competition. Like, you make sure that you get the game running functionally, because regardless if this game comes out and it's not an exclusive, it's going to represent what Microsoft Studios can do. So they're like, you make this game, make sure it runs great, make sure it reviews great, but we're not helping you make it.
Okay.
I think all of these delays, I think, or most of them, I think they're legit like delays. Like they legit want like the games to be more polished, or they don't have enough time or anything like that due to COVID. I don't think it's some like conspiracy.
Yeah, it's not a conspiracy. It's like I told you. Like, I honestly, truly feel like, when Arcane came to them, like, we need more time. A lot of the times, if they wanted that game to come out and it was for them and they were getting that game out, Microsoft would be like, all right, let's have this external studio help you. Let's hit a Sombo studio, whatever that studio that Tencent just bought. Like, we'll get you some help so we can get this game out sooner. I think when it comes to this game, they're like, okay, we'll give you more time. We're just not giving you no more help.
So you gotta think about it. I don't think it's like that. I think they already, remember, the game's been in development, so whatever resources they have or we're going to have access to outsourcing, they were gonna get ZeniMax. I mean, they probably
they were gonna get help from ZeniMax
regardless. Yeah. I think, and then all their studios help each other anyway. They got more than enough studios. So I think the thing is that all this does is, like, I think Xbox is obviously, they don't mind delays because it helps their roadmap. So Deathloop is already going to fulfill a month, next year on Xbox. But I think now Xbox, the second half is like backloaded because Deathloop would be September of next year. Redfall would be what, June, July? I don't know. But
you got Starfield as well.
Starfield in November. There's going to be all like Bethesda games next year. Tiger Bro for $3. Damn, I'll throw it. It says Halo Infinite looks amazing, though. Which
definitely does.
Which I still.
Yo, NickBanks was good, bro.
Shout out to NickBanks.
It looked decent.
What's up, y'all? What's good?
What's up, Nick?
Flight Simulator in the building. Just downloaded it. You know what I mean? Let's go.
So speaking of Flight Simulator,
so who made? Okay, so it was Team Asobo, right?
Team Asobo, yeah.
Team Asobo that made Flight Simulator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do y'all think Microsoft should have bought them?
Who says they haven't already bought them?
No, but they got acquired by somebody else, didn't they?
No, they
Team
didn't.
Asobo?
No,
that was Sumo Digital.
Oh, it was Sumo Digital.
Sumo
I don't know.
Digital,
I was thinking. I'm getting the two mixed up. My bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I know they do a whole lot of work. Like, does Focus Home own the freaking IP, the PlayStation? Because Asobo works with a lot of people. They work with Xbox a lot. They work with
They do a lot of outsourcing.
They do a lot. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is if there's going to be two studios, Xbox should probably pick up based on their relationship is Asobo and Moon Studios. But
I don't think they're buying Moon Studios.
Nah,
yeah, I mean,
I don't
there's
think
not
they
really
will.
nothing to buy. They all work from home. It's like you just like I guess if they could continue to support them in the way that they have.
No, but like Asobo looks good though.
Yeah,
The-
so-
like they're putting Plague's Tale 2 on Game Pass when it drops. So I mean, the relationship must be good.
Now, just
Yeah, but what do they need though? Like, they need a studio that can make a fighting game. You know what I
Other
mean?
realms.
we'll
Hey.
see. But I do want to talk a little bit about Flight Simulator because I was I had. I
Still?
switched. Yes, I'm not done. It's almost done. It's
Let's
almost
talk
done.
about Death's Door.
He said, "I'm not done."
No, because I want to just tell you about the frame rates I've been getting on this game in Newark.
Oh, all right.
In Newark, New Jersey. So flying over Newark, New Jersey in VRR mode, playing at 120 frames, I've been averaging about like 90 something frames on this game.
No,
90.
No, it's not.
Huh?
No, it's not. Did you see Digital Foundry corrected themselves with that?
Oh.
So apparently, the display that they were using, the LG display or whatever.
I'm not using my
them
LG display. I'm using my monitor frame.
No,
rate
I
counter.
know, but like they're saying that the frame count when you go into VR is given a false double frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you the link from Digital Foundry. So anytime it says that it's you're getting 80 frames or 90 frames or whatever, that is actually half of that. The actual like true frame rate of it is as far as VRR mode is ranging between like 30 up all the way up until 60 up
Well,
and down.
that's what VRR does, though, right?
Well, VR. Well, it unlocks the VR. I don't know how they measure it to the point where the game can run in unlock mode. Because, for example, a Plague's Tale, and when you're running on a VR display set to 120 frames, it allows it to run up well beyond 60 frames per second. And
So there was a lot of. No, go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead. And so the same thing, which I assume is the same case, because what do you know? Asobo did freaking a Plague's Tale, and it's the same feature. So when you play it on a VR, I didn't do the LG test one, but when you play, because I'm using my Aurora's monitor, I switched it to 120, and the frame rate did it seemed to correspond correctly there. So if it's wrong, it's a display on all displays that can count it that way.
I think it owes because like even like Bless Red and chat, like he watched the video. They came out and said that that's actually some type of weird reading that they're getting was VRR displays at 120 hertz, but the game is not reaching those frame rates. It's actually reaching half of the frame rates that you see that is reaching on VRR. Divide that by half, and that's the true frame rates that it's getting.
Which makes sense because I was surprised when it was above 60.
Yeah,
they said it was supposed to reach up to 60. Like some areas you'll get straight 60, and then some areas you're gonna obviously get 40 because the game's initial target is 30 frames per second. And they probably were able to say that because they knew they had this option with a playstyle, but it wasn't advertised. So. I mean, hey, it is what it is. For a game, though, that most PCs, I won't say PCs can't run, but the game that is considered the test, you know how they be like, well, can it run Crysis? People ask, how's Flight Sim run on this thing? And to have it like at the resolutions they're getting, the quality that they're getting, the performance that they're getting in this game, I think it's impressive. So, but like I said before the podcast, I plan to fly around my neighborhood a few times, go through the Bermuda Triangle, and then I eventually will uninstall the game. So, because, not because I don't like it. It's not that a dislike thing. It's just that there's only so much you can like. It's a calming game.
It's a relaxing. It's a palate cleanser game.
And that's what I said last night.
Doom or some shit.
Yeah,
you feel me?
That's what I said last night. Is like I felt like I found like my Zen type game, like something you just want to relax, chill, whatever. You boot up Flight Simulator and you just go around the sites or whatever for a little bit, cool yourself off because
it's a beautiful game.
Yeah, like I was actually I haven't played it on the Series X. I actually downloaded and played on the Series S, and I was actually quite impressed. And I put out a little video of the sight scenes, and someone said this is on the Series S. I was like, dude, like, yes, this is on the Series S.
Oh man. I forgot you got the Series S.
Yeah, no, I got it last Friday. So just something like that I was just trying out just to see how a game that you hear is so demanding on PC. You got all these people with these big rigs that can barely get it, to run at 60 and stuff like that. To see, what the little $300 Series S can do with that game. Like I felt like I was pretty comfortable with it, and I think Flight Simulator is a game I'm going to keep it installed on my system and play it because
so big.
there is, and I kind of
to get more content from the game on it.
Well, I didn't download the offline map. I'm just using the online one.
Oh yeah,
so
that's true. That's in 57
that,
gigs
that
you
kind,
don't need.
Yeah, that kind of cuts like your install in half if you don't want. Like, cause I'm gonna play it online. I mean, it's just what I'm gonna do because I like the aspect of having like the real time weather and stuff like that, and like
it got real time weather.
It's real.
Yeah,
Dude.
Oh, that's hard.
If you take off
like,
right now,
so Dre, like the other thing about it is like it's not only is it real time weather, but it's real time flight path.
Yeah.
So like
it's
you
running
can
off
pass.
if I download it right now and fly in my city, it's like it's nighttime right now. It's gonna be nighttime.
You can
me and my wife
entire world map, okay, and you can like rotate the map. Like, say if you want to go from the United States to like Japan, and say it's daylight in the United States, but when you look at the map and when you go and travel that distance, it's in. You're gonna be arriving in like nighttime or whatever time it takes to get there. You're gonna arrive in that time zone, and that's what the game's it's gonna.
I didn't know it did
that. It's using real time satellites.
Yeah. So and my one biggest gripe, like we was talking a little bit about how everybody was like crashing their planes into the ground and whatever. It's like I don't think people understand like all like the ground and stuff is like just being generated on the fly off of satellite data. It's not like it's not like
they didn't build
they're the ones, Microsoft's making the buildings. It's like, and like, I don't think of like a flight sim. And I'm like, the first thing I wanted, like, I didn't do that. I didn't go and crash on the ground. Like the most I was on the ground was when I was taking off.
Yeah, I can't help it, bro. I can't help it.
And so, well, I get that, but
like a fun idea.
It's fine to like go and do that. But the thing that I kind of had an issue with people was like nitpicking, like, oh, look how terrible the ground textures and stuff are gonna look. It's like it's not. Like you can't. It's the whole world.
Yeah, like that's the entire
world. Yeah,
like
it's the entire world, and you can fly from one point to the other with no loading times once you take off.
Like you could do real life plane flights.
Like so that's what I don't like.
12-hour flight, like you're actually spending 12 hours.
If you do a 12-hour flight, it's a 12-hour.
Oh, so you're doing that shit in real time?
Yeah, that's why.
That's hard.
No, that's why I'm only flying to New York and Newark and back.
Like, that's what we're saying, Dre. It's a real life simulator. It's not, like you can fly, essentially 100 miles in what feels like a game mile. You're flying 100 miles, and like they got the real world data that just goes with you as you're going.
That's kind of cold. I ain't gonna lie about that. That's kind of cold.
It's definitely impressive in the technical achievement.
Yeah, technical. Right.
Like what there is to do in a game. That's what it is. It's flying. You can get really in depth and kind of role playing stuff. And there's people that got big rigs out there, but it's a technical achievement for sure. And so
I have to download that.
I would recommend like downloading it. And there's
at least try it out.
There's a section like if you don't want to do like the flights and like the pre-flight takeoff and stuff like that, they have a whole entire section that is like garnered towards going through beautiful like vistas and views and stuff like that, and you're just kind of flying around, and it's got like really nice calming music, and it, like I said, it literally is like a Zen type game. Like it's very chill, it's very relaxed.
I have a question.
How
because I know like a lot of people on PC, they like the people who are really into this game, into the simulator, they use like the flight controls or whatever, and like some people were skeptical of how it's going to translate all that technical controls or whatever into controller. So how's like the controller aspects of it? Like
I felt like they mapped the stuff
simplified
pretty well.
Yeah.
Like the simplified version, like you can just boot up the game with the simplified controls and take off. It's got a breakdown of what the controller looks like and stuff. And then like you can go into the cockpit view And then the cockpit view is like where all the other little trinkets and stuff that you can mess with is at. And when you're in a cockpit view, you can do that, and you can do so many different things that probably are more immersive. But if you're just looking at, the simplified version, like going off the ground, you have like, your triggers on the controller or like your rudders. Obviously, your thumbstick is, your control stick.
Mm-hmm.
You got your speed up, your slow down, and like your brake. So like it's very. Honestly, it kind of felt like almost playing like flying in Grand Theft Auto, just a little bit, but a little bit more like not as arcadey. Like there's a lot of weight to the planes and stuff like that. So, go ahead, Ray.
Question. Do you gotta like stop and get fuel and shit like that too?
So there is you can if you land at an airport, there's fueling stations at the airport that you can fill up in, as well as there is in the air fuel.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Is there
okay.
I mean, that's
that's
I believe
cool.
That's a thing is getting refilled,
in the air. Yeah, that's
air without landing. So you have like, when you're doing like the long trips and stuff, like you'll have to, figure out how to do all that stuff and but there's kind of one achievement that I want to see how many people get, because I don't know if anybody's really looked at the achievement list and stuff, but there is an achievement to literally have 1,000 hours of fly time in the game.
Oh, it's gonna be a small percentage.
Yeah.
So, like I'm just like I don't know what it's at on.
It's like less than 1%.
Like the achievements with the PC version that's been out for a year are shared with the Xbox version. It's not like it's got a separate SKU. So it's basically where all the achievements are and stuff is basically what people have been getting them on the PC. It's just now we have access to it on the Xbox. So it'd be kind of interested. I don't think I remember looking at the percentage, but there is an achievement to fly for 1,000 hours.
Yeah.
Does the
I got a question. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I was
gonna
gonna say
say
this real quick. My BG internet just kicked in just now, so my bad for like being gone for like 10 minutes. Yeah, fuck this Wi-Fi.
I was just about to ask, does the because I haven't been on my Xbox in a minute. So does the Xbox does it take down like real time play time? Like, because motherfuckers about to be checking times and shit. How
it's in your stats.
How many
like if
hours
you're
people
looking
got
at there's multiple different hour achievements in that. The 1,001 is the highest that it goes. So I don't know if that's like a way to track, but I haven't looked at like your in-game stats, like how long it's shown, like how you flied. But there are achievements tied to how long you've flown in the game.
Gotcha.
So I'd have to look. I can pull it up real quick and kind of get an idea.
Well, while you pull it up, let me ask this question. Go
ahead.
Because I see somebody so the first one is a simulator game.
We already talked about that, Nick. We already agreed that,
y'all already talked about that?
It's a game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a game. We all
it is.
But Major
I
Nelson.
don't know. I'm just trying to see.
Shout out to
But Dre said, hold on, but Dre said, you said Major Nelson said it's not a game, it's a simulator?
Major Nelson said, no, the dude, he said it himself. He said it's not a game. Like he was.
Well, who is Major Nelson though? Like
he was talking to the dev, I'm guessing, and they both.
You don't know who Major Nelson is?
It's not a game.
Nah, I mean, if we're gonna take his word, then we're gonna have to always take his word. That's how I run.
But listen.
Like, I mean, that's
what he's saying. That's what Major Nelson said. But I said that all of us in here agrees that it's a game.
Oh yeah, I usually don't be listening. I don't know. Major Nelson, he's like a PR guy or some shit. Right.
So just real quick here, there's quite a few actually amount of hours flying achievements in this game. There's one for 500 hours of flight time in a single pilot profile, 1,000 hours in a single pilot profile, which is just on your gamer tag. There is I think there was one for 50 hours flying in the rain. So I mean, I guess if you look at
50 hours,
yeah, 50 hours of there's 50 hours of flight time in the rain. There's 50 hours of flight time at night, and and then there's like 100 hours is like your generic one. But
That's
yeah, there's
150 hours on 3
think they need all that
achievements. What you
much,
mean?
though.
Yo,
Like-
first of all, yo, who's playing?
But okay, so
What?
like so
A lot
so
of
you
people are not gonna
can-
get.
I
that.
would do it,
So-
bro.
so
Like,
now-
I'm sorry,
no.
the flying in the rain sounds
That shit's
quick-
about to be a fucking diamond
Okay,
Yeah, but you gotta
achievement.
wait till it actually rains. Or
So- no,
No,
but
no,
there
you can
is-
play
okay,
with
okay.
the weather.
There-
You can adjust that.
Oh, okay.
There is ways that you can play the game either doing real time weather,
Yeah.
or you can adjust the
Adjust.
weather to do certain things. So like if you want to fly at night, you can adjust the time, but you
That's not the
still
key
have
issue.
to.
It's 50 hours.
You still gotta fly 50 hours at
That's
night. Like
50
God, that's
fucking
crazy.
hours
Don't
in
do
a
it all
game.
at
Crazy.
once, bruh.
Just
Like,
on one
God,
achievement.
Yeah.
I wonder
So, like-
if quick resume
so, like-
counts. Is if you put it on quick resume and just let the plane stay in the air while you're playing other
Probably.
No,
Yo,
no, because it runs out of fuel. It runs out of fuel, and you will crash. Like you
Oh,
do
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
refuel the plane.
It looks like I'm going off of true achievements. Let
Oh,
see
man.
here real quick.
Shout
I'm
out
going
to
off of
Virgil
true
Brizzle. He
achievements.
says, "Dre, download that ish, Dre. Let's go."
I'm gonna try it out.
There is for the 1,000-hour achievement of flying, it's a 0.01% unlock rate.
I'm
that
not
is about
surprised.
to be
Like,
a really,
And just
really
on
rare
like on
achievement.
true achievements is a 0.19% unlock rate.
like you gotta be a true enthusiast, bro. Like
Oh,
you gotta
it's
be like
like-
some pilots, baby. Like you gotta be an enthusiast. Like
But shout out to Flight Sim. So that was we talked about the Accent, which comes out tomorrow. I think a lot of people are gonna enjoy that. Death Door came out last week, and
Yes,
did
let's talk
very
about
well.
that.
I beat
Let's
that
talk about
grandma but right before this podcast I was doing the grandma boss fight. And,
yeah,
Hold
shit,
on.
I'm at her right now.
I
Can we
love
talk-
Death's Door.
Can we talk
Yeah,
about Death's Door?
Mhm.
I think we talked about it a
Because,
little bit yesterday, but it came out that day or
Last
last
week.
week.
Yeah.
Or
last
last
time,
week?
last time.
No, yeah, but I
Came
wasn't
out
here
the
last-
day.
I wasn't here last week. I've been checking some of it out. I haven't checked a whole lot of it out.
I think
It
you'd like it,
definitely, it definitely looks like a really dope game. It's definitely getting great review scores. So, does anybody in here play like has played like the old school like top down Zeldas?
I
did
played
back-
the
Yeah.
one that
Like
was
a
on
Link,
Yeah.
like
A little
Link-
bit, yeah.
Yeah,
like
I
Link to the
played
Past.
that remake.
Because I wanna-
The best
Switch.
Zelda ever crafted. Yep.
Which
I
one?
played that. I played the
Link to the
remake on the
Past.
Switch. That was
The
it.
Link's Awakening.
Yeah,
No,
Link to the
Link to the
Awakening. Okay, so
Past is what the best. Yeah, go ahead.
You see that Trash Awakening?
No, Link's Awakening
Oh,
is
man.
real good, and yeah, Link to the Past is
Yeah,
one of
that
the best
shit.
ones. But
Yeah.
but how is it like? Because I see a lot of people saying, "Yo, if you a Zelda fan, like as far as like the top down Zelda fans, like Link to the Past, Link's Awakening type of shit, you really enjoy these games." So, but I want to know because one thing I really love about those games is Zelda, right? I haven't watched too much of Death's Door because since I'm liking what I'm seeing, I don't want to spoil myself. You know what I mean? So eventually, if it does come to PlayStation or whenever I get an Xbox or whatever, I'm gonna play it. How is it in terms of, because one thing I love about these Zelda games is all the interactions and the cool secrets you get in the world. Like there's a lot to do as far as like level interactions and stuff like that. So I want to know, because this game is more of an RPG as well. So I want to know like how is this game as far as like the exploration? Because in those old Zelda games, you progress through them linear, but it never feels linear. It feels open ended. You know what I mean?
Same.
So from
Okay.
I have about 4 hours into it. Like I said, I just beat the second big boss. It definitely has like a lot of room for like exploration, especially when you start getting like certain abilities and stuff. Then you can kind of go back and like kind of backtrack to certain areas and be able to, with your new abilities, unlock like certain secrets and find different things with your new abilities in worlds that you've already went through. So like that's like kind of interesting because like I've been like finding like if I unlock like a new ability or whatever, I've been finding that like when I go back and like I'm exploring old worlds, I'm like, oh, now I can open up this, or now I can set this on fire to go through this door.
Yeah, very Zelda
stuff like that. So like it's very, it's definitely makes you want to like once you get new abilities and stuff, as you're progressing, to kind of go back and go through the older levels that you've already played through, because there's other things that you can explore with your new abilities in it. So I hope that answers your question, Chris.
Is the
No, perfect. I like that.
how good is like the navigation? So like, do you like does it tell you from like go here to here, or do you gotta like kind of explore
It's
a little bit?
It's definitely
or,
very
you explore.
It's
You
it's
explore.
explore.
I'm like, but like, do you get lost? Like, if,
No.
I haven't got lost myself. I've been able to kind of like, as I'm moseying around, I'm like, oh, this is familiar, so I kind of know where I'm at. So since I'm in a familiar area, when I get to like a certain thing, if there's like 3 different paths, I know, hey, I'm here. I've already went that way. I can go this way now instead.
Like,
So,
does it give
So
you
like
hints?
I haven't felt like I've needed like an in-game
Like a map.
for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have puzzles? Like puzzle solving?
Kinda.
I don't
It's
know
a
if
little
I'd
bit
say like I guess it depends on what your version.
It's more on the
like.
action side, right, than the puzzle side.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
like the stuff that they got is just like little like
Like,
I
it's
can
tied
use
to
this to
abilities,
unlock
really.
this, or
Yeah, you use
I
abilities
can
to
do
unlock
this
it.
to unlock this. There is like some rooms and stuff that you kind of like figure out. Oh, if I hit these 3 things, this door will unlock, and I can go into this extra room and find stuff there. But there's not like I would say like super big puzzle aspects to it.
Like, they're
Yeah,
not
like,
intricate
yeah.
puzzles. Like you'll get like a fireball or something, and then like that will tie to your progression through a certain level. So like you'll have to use that fireball to light kind of like furnaces and stuff to move objects out of your way and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying with like the fireball, like something like that. Then that's when you can go backtrack to the other levels that you didn't use the fireball, or like say you didn't have the fireball. Then you
Or
can
like a
find
grappling hook or
other
something like
places
that.
that you could go to that you needed the fireball ability to get into.
Yeah, because I know what what's his name? Dre was trying to ask, because Dre, you play Link's Awakening, you know that game just drops you in there
Yes, sir.
and you get lost and you don't know
Yes,
what the
sir.
fuck to do. That
Nope.
game just figure
Yeah.
this shit out yourself.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? Yeah.
Like for Death's
I
Door,
love
like,
that. I love that.
Like, it's not holding your hand when it comes to like telling you where to go. Like, you can just openly explore, and like you are rewarded for your exploration. Like, you will find like little secrets, like little like for seeds, like to replenish your health. Like, if you actually go out and explore, like, you're rewarded for that. There are orbs that you collect that will increase your health and increase your magic. Should eventually, after you find 4 of them. It's kind of like in a way, it's kind of similar very much to Tunic, but I feel like Tunic is more aggressive. Like, because there are enemies that you'll find in Tunic that just seem unbeatable. Like because I did find some enemies that were big as hell in Tunic that were like, I couldn't kill them. So, and they'll chase you around the map for real. I haven't met anything like that in Death's Door, but Death's Door's combat is really good, and exploration is really good too.
Yeah, I like versus. If I had to compare it to like the Tunic, when playing both, I prefer Death's Door gameplay style over Tunic easily. It was already enjoyable. Like I said, the only reason why I stopped playing Death's Door is because they gave me access to the Ascent. That's the only reason why I stopped. That's like literally. I was like, all right, let me get this done.
Like, see, the thing about Tunic is that like I feel like Tunic is more reminiscent of like a Zelda game. Like it really is. Like
it borrows a lot from it.
Yeah.
Huh?
It borrows a lot from the old school.
Yeah. How it introduces mechanics and enemies at the same time, and it's kind of like you get to learn as you're going with Tunic with these different types of enemies, and they just kind of like introduce them in such a good way. Like, it doesn't seem like it's like forced or anything. Like, it feels really natural to what the items you get in Tunic. Where it's like with Death's Door, like it seems, I don't know, like it seems very, very Souls-like. I know, like, a lot of people have done that comparison, so it's just like it does feel like that.
Yeah.
Where like Tunic felt more like Zelda to me.
Yeah,
so
I agree with you there. Death's Door is more inspired. It feels more inspired by Souls-like versus what Zelda is. I feel like Tunic is more in the Zelda heritage, where Death's Door is more like in that the game that's trying to like if you familiar with Souls games, it kind of pulls you in that way. It's not in comparison. I do 110% agree with that. Say that again.
Is it as hard as like a Souls game? Like
No,
is it as
no.
difficult?
Nah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't expect.
No. Like it's very forgiving. Like you don't lose your stuff. Like you don't have to backtrack to get your shit.
Oh,
Like
cool,
you can
cool.
die and you just go back to the last checkpoint, like the last door that you had, really.
But
So
it
it's
does
actually
have.
really nice that it does that.
But from what I'm hearing, so like like the combat and stuff like that is very like reminiscent of a Soul style game. But what y'all telling me as far as like you got to get different items and abilities to unlock other items and abilities or whatever, that has a lot of like old school Zelda DNA as well.
Okay.
As well.
Yeah, of course. Like I'm not
as well
saying
as like
it doesn't,
Metroid.
but
As well. Yeah.
I'm saying what it really felt like for me comparing the two. When I'm comparing the two, that's what sticks out. Like.
Shout out to Jason Elliott. He says for $4.99, he says, I hear it in Dre's voice. He's hitting that do not recommend button as we speak. He must have been.
Hey man, hey. if it was like reminiscent of if the difficulty was like a Souls type difficulty, I wasn't gonna fuck with it because I don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but now that
I
it's
would
not,
say-
I'm a cop it.
Yeah, I beaten the first two bosses. No,
Damn,
no problem.
Dre.
So, shout out to
Hey, I'm not
shout out to Donna
Like Souls games?
He says
Go ahead, my bad.
Tunic looks more Zelda but feels more Souls-like, while Death's Door looks more Souls-like but feels more like Zelda, in my opinion. I don't know.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try it out. It looks dope. It looks like a fun little indie game.
I'm definitely copying.
Yeah, man. Copy your Series X, Chris. What's
Yeah,
good?
Chris, what's going on?
Not for that one game.
No, because look, all the Xbox
one
games,
game,
all the Xbox
Horizon,
games are coming out now. PlayStation has no
Fable
games for
coming.
the rest of the year.
You know?
It's the opposite, you know.
Baby, I'm covered by the Switch.
Oh man,
yeah,
for
I'm covered
one
by
game,
the. I'm covered
you
by
gonna buy the
Switch.
Switch
Come
for
on.
one game?
Ah.
But you ain't gonna.
Nah, there's multiple. You got the Pokemon remake.
All right, Pokemon, you got me.
Pokemon.
You got me,
You
Pokemon.
got Metroid Dread. Yeah.
You got me with Pokemon. Okay, I got you.
That's why. That's why it's always.
Oh, man.
That's why it's always. That's why it's always. Hold on. That's why it's always good to have multiple.
No, wait, Chris. But are you playing
Chris
Pokemon?
like a lot more. Go ahead.
You playing Pokemon?
Yeah, let's do online battles.
All right. So where's that? Where's that Switch code? Where's that friend code at?
Hold up.
Where's that friend code?
So is
What's up?
Chris?
You can send it to me on Twitter.
Hold up. Is Chris?
I got you right now.
Is Chris acting all big when it comes to Pokemon? Like,
Yeah, he is. Let's remember this.
Apparently, he's gonna play the new one.
so you want to play me, Chris? You want to play me, Chris?
I got sorted. Hey, I'm down to play. I'm down to play.
You ask Kid Smooth. I play that game. Like,
No, that's fine. Listen, we can set it up when Diamond.
I'm gonna send you the friend code real quick though.
When Diamond and Pro
Friend code.
is up.
no, I'm trying to get on this sword and shield sticks, man. What's going on with it?
I sold Shield, bro. I sold that.
Damn, that's tough. That's tough.
I didn't really like Sword and Shield that much. I
I thought
really.
it was decent, but I still got the
with Sword
game.
and Shield.
I felt like the
Oh, no,
story
no,
was
no.
trash. Like
The story was trash.
But I do feel like, as far as like competitive, it's a really fun competitive space.
Yeah, it is, and that Arceus looks.
And
pretty good.
and that's where I was gonna stomp you at, Chris. Man, why'd you have to sell it?
Nah,
No,
I'm there day one though. I'm there day one on the.
I'm a born amateur. You could probably beat me in Pokemon if you have a little bit of knowledge.
I'm not that. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think.
I will play
Chris capping.
Shout out to Donataku. He says Pokemon Unite actually fire.
I had some friends at work tell me about that
Tried
game.
that,
I gotta look into it for sure.
Okay, so I haven't. I downloaded it. I got it downloaded.
Whoa.
And what? Did I sound messed up?
No. Some dude was like, Pokemon Sword is better than Diamond. You're capping. Stop.
Nah,
Whoa.
that's
Get the hell out of here.
I thought you were looking at
You retract
it.
There was things
Oh,
that there was things that I liked that they did with Pokemon Sword, but it was little things that they did to mess it up. Like they
It
could
was
have
more
had
the open
such a
world
good.
for me.
Like, I really enjoyed like the real rival was your rival's brother, like that. But it's just like they should have did more with the rival. Like it used to be back in the day when I saw your rival, I was excited to fight this dude. When I saw him, I was like, this dude again. Like,
Yeah.
Nah, but that Pokemon Unite, I only played a little bit of the tutorial of it, but so far the gameplay is actually a lot fire than what I thought it would be, and it's an online mobile game. So I'm definitely gonna.
is it on the Switch?
Yeah, it's on the Switch. Of course.
I don't know if I want to pay 60 bones for that. I'm gonna be real
No,
with
it's
you,
free to
boss,
play.
man.
It's free to play.
Oh, it's free. Ooh, it's free
Yeah,
to play.
It's a free to play MOBA Pokemon
Oh, it's like
game.
League. Yeah, it's like League. I'm
Yeah,
looking at it right
it's like
now.
Leagues of Legends. But
Yeah.
Can I lane control someone with Gengar? Can I lane control someone with Gengar?
Probably. I don't know. You gotta play the game to see how you can control lanes or not.
The tutorial, but so far, like I've only controlled Pikachu, but so far I'm very impressed at how it controls and how the combat feels. And it is a MOBA game. It's like what's that? It's like all those other games like League of Legends and Paragon and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's the same style of game.
All right, so let's talk about these stories in regards to, Sean Layden came out of the blue. He had his thoughts on pretty much game subscription models. He said something that caught a lot of attention, and then Eurogamer dropped an article that was in response to that. And Dope, I'm gonna need you to lead us in, because I'm actually just catching up on it now. As your discussion, like what came of it? What was you want to start off with the whole Sean Layden talk, like?
Yeah, it was a really long article. Essentially, first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to NickBanks because he talked about this last week. But the quote from Sean Layden is, he says that consolidation is enemy of diversity in so many ways. He says it takes a lot of playing pieces off the table as they grow into larger conglomerates, and again, we end up with the same problem with diversity. So he's talking about like over time, like games become much more expensive to develop, and he's talking about a lot of these bigger companies buying up smaller indies, and there's going to be a lack of diversity in games because these bigger conglomerates are going to push what kind of games they want, i.e. Activision, i.e. Sony, obviously. So like we see that, right? And he also talked about the pricing in games, but the big thing that he talked about was about like the subscription model, obviously, and everyone was talking about that. So he said people don't buy consoles because they want more steel and plastic in the living room. He said people buy consoles because they want access to the content. If you find a way to get content to people's homes without boxes, then yes, indeed, everyone has a streaming solution in some form. Most of it's limited by whether you have a decent internet connection, and they haven't constructed the business model that works so far. And then he says it's very hard to launch a $120 million game on a subscription service, charging $10 a month. Pencil it out, you're going to have 500 million subscribers before you start to recoup the investment. That's why right now you need to take a loss-leading position to grow that base. But still, if you have only 250 million consoles out there, you're not going to get 500 million subscribers. So how do you circle that square? So that was the big quote everyone was taking and running with so far. Like he's saying that like there's not enough units out there to make up the subscription model that they're trying to have out there to make up the cost of these big budget games.
Yeah.
But he's saying that Xbox also has the ability to expand beyond just the console space because they have Game Pass,
Mobile and PC.
You have PC, you have mobile, everything like that. So like he says that they're laying down the groundwork right now. He understands that they have to have a loss-leading position right now to get into a subscription model like that. Like we see it everywhere. Like it's not just gaming. You see it with video streaming. That like Netflix, for example, Netflix is not making a profit off of their subscription service. Like it's from other sources of income that they're getting. So like you have to operate at a loss initially to make up the gains later.
And that's what I was saying. Sean Layden is not saying anything. No, there's not an issue. No. He didn't say it was an issue. He's pretty much saying that something that we all know is true. We all know that, like for these big games or whatever, like Aaron Greenberg said it a while ago that they're not profitable or anything like that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Microsoft has a lot of fucking money to burn. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they're well aware that they're gonna be taking a lot of losses for years. With this Game Pass model to service, and I think they already know that, and they don't care. They have the money to burn to keep the content of the service flowing until they get to whatever milestone subscription numbers they're trying to hit or whatever. So yeah, of course, Game Pass is not a profitable. Anybody who thinks Game Pass is profitable, they don't know nothing of what they're talking about. Whatever. I believe everything that Sean Layden is saying.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far.
But
go ahead.
But Microsoft has a lot of fuck you money that they don't care about losing the money initially for 5 whatever years or however long it takes for them to hit the what their goals and whatever. Now, will they hit their goals? We don't know, but obviously them expanding to TVs, to mobiles, and all that shit is gonna help them, get closer to whatever goal they feel like the achievement to where their service can actually monetize itself and whatever and whatnot. So yeah, like Game Pass, of course, is not making any profit. It's not gonna make any profits for a while. I don't think so. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing. I'm not saying that as a bad thing or whatever, because like I said, Microsoft, they have the money to do that. They have the money to do that. So
it's not the Eurogamer article. So in the Eurogamer article, they put out an opinion piece like pretty much countering what it's not even necessarily countering, but they're giving a different perspective as to what Sean Layden said. So they mentioned MLB, the show 21 that was developed by Sony, and it showed a franchise history more than 2 million units sold, but the kicker is that they reached more than 4 million players actively. So like the goal that Eurogamer is what they're trying to convey is that, hey, like even though they're not selling units outside the Game Pass, the activity of the game, the engagement is greater because of Game Pass. And like if you want to argue that, hey, they're not going to make a profit off of AAA games solely for Game Pass, yeah, you can make that argument, but the engagement for the game is always going to be there because you're reaching a wider audience and the barrier of entry is low. Instead, if you spend $60 for multiple games, you can spend $10 a month. And you can still get access to those games. It's not even just AAA games. Like if you look at AA games and indies, they're getting a much more clout because of a service like Game Pass as well. And you think about visibility of games, particularly inside these digital storefronts, like a PlayStation Store or an Xbox Store. Like we know, like if you put your game on PlayStation Plus, we know if you put your game in Game Pass, it's gonna have way more visibility than just putting it in the store and having it buried. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I kind of hear what Chris is. I kind of agree and disagree with what Chris is saying, because he was talking about like Microsoft has money to burn, which that's true, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to burn it. You know,
I
what
agree.
I mean? Just because they got it, but
no.
They're not just burning it. They know what's going on.
I agree with that, but I believe that they have the money to burn for a couple of years, even at a loss. Now, obviously, if they're going 10 years, 15 years, and they're not making shit back, obviously they're not going to continue that because that's not a good business. But I think they're knowing that they're going to take big losses for the first couple of years until they reach milestone subscriptions that they want to reach. Yeah, so of course they're not going to want to keep operating at a loss for a very long time. But in the beginning, they obviously know that they're going to be operating at a loss.
Yeah, but at the same time, who knows when they're going to make a profit? Like nobody knows that. Like everybody's trying to go off of Netflix's, when Netflix is going to be profitable. But I don't. I mean, I can see what I can.
You can't use Netflix.
You can't because Xbox still sells you the game.
The game, yeah. There's so much more avenue for revenue that's coming into Xbox that Netflix doesn't have. Yeah. So we don't know how long it will be until Game Pass is profitable. Shit, that could be next year. What I mean?
It can. That goes to what I'm saying. It's like in the beginning, it's already been out for 4 years, right? Like Game Pass. Mm-hmm. It's already been around for 4 years. So like I said, in the first couple of years, of course, they're going to be operating at a loss. But I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal that people are trying to use it against. Like, I don't see it as a big, okay, yeah, sure. They're operating at a loss until they hit a milestone and they're going to be making profits. I don't see an issue with that.
But first of all, hold on. Let's rewind this track a little bit. Because I don't think we understand.
All right, Nick.
What? No, don't rewind the track. Because we need to understand.
No, I was saying something else. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. Because we need to understand who's saying this. Now, it'd be different if it was somebody who didn't get fired for making this comment previously. Because I'm pretty sure that's why he was fired.
Damn.
Because
wait, oh,
Sean Layden.
Yeah, Sean Layden was fired, right?
Okay.
Somebody disagree with that? But anyway,
fired? I don't really know.
I don't know.
Fired. Yeah, like it don't actually work like in the movies when they be like, "You're fired. Get out of here." Like, nah, they make it look nice and rabbit. He's a good guy, I like Sean Layden, But anyway, he got fired, right? And we see the direction that Sony going in there. So we can't really be sitting around and be like, well, I think we all taking his what he's saying for granted and all this like, yeah, we get it and all that. Like, but this ain't Netflix. Netflix rent servers. We got to understand this first to be saying, take losses and all this and
you
that.
got to separate the two.
Yeah, you can't. This like a dude that's on the corner and a dude that's providing them. Like, it's a totally different thing. Like we keep, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, man. Like, you can't compare the two. That's all.
Also, you have to understand that Sean Layden is also the same person that said that, and specifically in regards to the way Sony is operating their business, is that, like high budget games is sustainable, right? And a lot of people came out against. So I even came out against that somewhat. Like, I was like,
remember that?
To a certain extent, like, not every game that's a high budget is going to be able to recoup all the costs, right? But there are other games that are going to be more successful than others.
Stranded.
So, yeah, obviously that, right?
Yeah. 5 million
so
in
like
4 years, 3 years.
So like there's that, and then in this he talked about like, hey, like consolidation of all of the talent within the gaming industry isn't great because you're going to stop diversity of games, which is what you talked about last week, Nick, and I disagreed with you. But reading this article and going more in depth with what the way he was explaining it made more sense, because like you can't buy up everyone and then say, hey, we're gonna force feed you how to make your games. That doesn't make any sense. And we see certain companies that try to do that, like an EA, like an Activision. It didn't work. Remember, EA said, hey, single player games don't sell. But now look at what they're doing. They're putting out single player games because those are big hits. Yeah. So you can't tell different studios to say, hey, like, we're going to buy this indie studio and say, make this kind of game, when that's not their style.
Yeah.
You have to have them be creative in what they do. And that's what I'm glad with Microsoft is doing right now, because they're not saying, hey, we're going to make these, we're going to hire a whole bunch of failed movie producers and say, hey, make all these games. You can't have the same style of game. You can't do that. You have to compete in a different kind of way. So like, I get both aspects of what he's saying. In terms of the profitability of Game Pass, that's an entirely different discussion. I do think there's a place to launch AAA titles in Game Pass and still have a very successful game. Look at what Halo Infinite is doing. Halo Infinite is having free-to-play multiplayer for the first time ever. I don't think they care about like the amount of units sold as much as engagement, long-term engagement, because they have a what was I gonna say? They have a way that they're gonna make money off the game via Battle Pass and additional stuff outside of the game. Like, do you have to buy Battle Pass? No, but you can get it, right? Like, there's gonna be other streams of revenue into Halo Infinite outside the initial $60 sale.
And we've been seeing that the Battle Pass kind of method has been very good for like
everybody adopted
Apex, Call of Duty. I mean, it kind of took off. So I don't think like you said, I don't think Xbox and Microsoft were worried about the sales. You know, I don't think they're going to judge Halo Infinite based off of like being, you know, a success or not, just strictly off of sales, because they're going to sit there and look and say, look at all this money that we're getting. Look at all these.
It's about
this influx of Game Pass subscribers that we're getting, you know, to play the game and all this. Like it's going to be a lot more than just like your bottom dollar, like $60 sale. Now you're not looking at, you know, the same like things are kind of changing, you know, in the gaming realm, and I don't think, you know, you're going to start seeing like people are going to. I feel like there's going to be people be like, look, Halo Infinite only sold this amount, but yet there's going to be X amount of people playing it, you know, not playing the campaign, but playing the multiplayer and stuff. And they're going to be like, well, the multiplayer is free, so they're not making any money off that. It's like, but they're making money on, you know, all the battle passes and the microtransactions and stuff on the free to play version of it, while still putting out, you know, constant, you know, content updates and keeping the game alive and well. So, but I'm excited to see what they do and what they bring to it.
Let me ask y'all something real quick. Do y'all think that every avenue of revenue for Xbox, whether that be game sales or whatever, you know, every profit for Xbox, do y'all think that's just getting poured into Game Pass at this point?
No.
Like,
so here's the thing. No, if you look at the financials of Xbox, right? Like I'm not saying any, but
they said the services are down, actually.
Most of the profits that they're getting, whether it's off of console sales, off of unit sales for games, or for Game Pass, is being reinvested back. Because if you look at it from a financial standpoint, if you're just sitting on that cash, it's taxable.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to write off that income so it's not taxable. So you have to reinvest it back into your assets.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
why they'll end
acquiring-
up paying more than what they're geting. Like that's why you buy a Bethesda for 7.5, or you buy somebody else because you
open up a new
that.
studio.
Yeah, you. And that's the thing. Everybody be like, Microsoft is broke. That's they're not
broke.
Hold
Like
up.
Microsoft makes a shit ton of money off the
Nobody's saying that,
services.
Smooth.
Nobody's-
right. I mean, people
That's some
be
shit you made up in your head.
Yeah, people
No,
be
you gotta
the
show
way.
me that. You gotta show me that. Nobody said that.
People be pocket watching. They're down. They're
But yeah,
not buying
there's
Xbox
there's
Series S. It's a waste of money. All right.
There's a lot
That's
of
true.
articles
That's
that
true.
highlight that they reinvest their money back into their own infrastructure, whether it's acquiring studios, making the service even better, paying money for third party to come into Game Pass, which will cost a lot of money. So there's different things they could do with their money to not like be at a loss essentially.
Shout out to Nolan. He says for $5. I think he was talking about Christmas. Chris was talking about the I forgot what he was talking about, but he said, "What is this guy talking about?" Because there are monthly information on how much money Microsoft made from Game Pass, and I think I saw
that, but that has nothing to do with profit. Okay, go ahead.
And then Optimus Code says for $25. He says, "Good show, y'all. Hit the like button." Wait, Sean Layden didn't get fired. He left.
Why are you making that man sound
Still
crazy?
good stuff
You're making that
tonight.
man sound crazy.
I'm not making him sound crazy.
Hey,
Man, prove me wrong.
You were like, good show, y'all. Hit the like button. Like,
Shout out to
Optimus Code. Not next week, but the week after. Come on.
Yo, nah, that dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. He's been getting cooked on AGS. No cap. Optimus.
Shout out to Emmanuel A1 in the chat, you know. Look at Optimus.
I forgot what happened. So Sean Layden left when they had that whole shake up in there. Yoshida got demoted, right? When they
Shit.
Nobody wanted to admit that shit. That was a demotion. You don't go from fucking head. What was he, like head of first party or something like that? Head of Indies, and they got nothing to show for it but Fall Guys.
Yo, they trying to get that. They trying to get that Microsoft money, man.
What happened to Yoshida, bro? I'm dead.
Homie got demoted, bro. Like, and then they shut
Yo, that's not funny. I like Yoshida though, bro.
He got D-ranked in the MW2 lobby.
I think what happened. I think what happened. He just lost a power struggle. That's what I think happened.
Yeah, I would have quit. They got him working with indies, and now all the independent developers mad because they.
You gotta consider from his perspective, man. He's a lifer. Like, he's already made the money. Like, at this point, but I get that. But he probably wants to retire. He probably a couple years away from all that. From getting all the good.
This dude Sean Layden, he left with dignity. This dude fucking Yoshida got demoted, bro. That's crazy.
You getting up there in age, and you a couple years from retiring with full benefit the whole 9 yards.
He's like, easier job.
Yoshida's like, I got a couple years left. You don't like what I'm doing. You want to give the. And this is it probably wasn't even him demoted. It's probably just like, look, we're moving a different way. Like, we feel like other people. And he was probably like, you got to consider how, he's getting up there in age. He was probably just like, look, like, I have no problem going to something. I can spend more time with my family. I'm not always out on trips. I'm not always out of town. And then, let me just chill with the family. I got a couple years later, and then I'm going to retire.
I'm going to tell you this.
Is he doing a good job now?
If he wanted an easy job. Yo, Nick, if he
cares anymore. He's just looking for, he's just waiting for that.
Wait, now when you get demoted, you don't do a good job after that. We all like
Yoshida probably doesn't. Yoshida probably doesn't even go into the office. He just
listen to this. Listen to this. If Yoshida wanted an easier job, he had two choices. he could go to PlayStation PR
shit.
or PlayStation's Twitter account. They don't do shit anyway. Like,
Twitter account. Stop that.
Yo, Nick, he had a bad D on Apex. He went from platinum to bronze in one day. That shit's tough.
Yo, but Sean Layden, all right. So Sean Layden, right?
Oh my god.
Did you see anybody on Twitter?
Yo, he went from flying the G5 private jet to flying the JetBlue.
But Sean Layden, it wasn't too many execs. Like, it wasn't too many execs. Like, it was nice working with you and all. That joint was crazy how he left, dog. Like, they kicked him out the back door. Like, nigga, try and get with this.
Yeah, like they didn't give an announcement like they did with other people.
It was crazy.
It was like,
oh my god.
And he went dark on Twitter for
I'm
about
fucking
like
crying, bro.
Like,
yo, that dude was in the fucking depression. I would have been sick. Yo, I would have. How you go from the MGM Grand to fucking a Motel 6?
I'm telling
you.
I'm telling you, it's easy. It's easy.
I was gonna say at least the Holiday Inn, but
I'm telling you, it's easy.
He went to the Motel 6.
I'm telling you, this man is probably a couple years away from having that cushy paycheck, that retirement paycheck, and he ain't gonna put in all these times, and these last couple hours gonna stop him from getting that.
Yeah,
so you want me to go over there and do the indie stuff, spend more time with the family, never have to deal with you guys again? Yeah. Where do I sign? Where do I go?
Hey, you guys see what happened to Andrew House? His ass went to Nissan.
Damn.
Damn.
Nissan. Like, really? Like, wow. Like, nothing close to gaming. Okay.
I'm done, bro.
But nah.
That's tough.
No, but I mean, in terms of, like, obviously Xbox is, like I said, I've been stopping on this for a while. Like I said, the no games era is done. I mean, just this week, like I said, you got Halo Infinite, which is tomorrow. The Ascent, which is tomorrow. You got
who? Just out of curiosity, who got into the thing?
I did. You already know, baby. Halo Infinite. Gang.
I had to check my email.
Yeah.
Who got head out? Who was it, Dre?
Yeah, I got to head out.
All right, bro, man. Good seeing you.
Oh, I thought he was saying he got it.
I'll see you on Friday.
We'll see.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's like, we'll see.
Is there any NDAs or anything on this Halo thing?
Nope.
No, there's no NDA.
No, they gonna
NDA. Free reign, live stream, record everything.
I'll record and make my video because kid knows I'm about to make a video tomorrow.
Yeah. Speaking of, I need to. Yeah, I got to do. Yeah, I got to record.
We won't go into it too much, but kid knows I'm about to get a lot of hate tomorrow, man.
Somebody better clip this, bro. Yo, Sheeta, if you want to get treated well, come to Xbox, baby.
Xbox. You want to work with anything?
Yo, you're gonna get back on the G5 private airplane. You ain't gonna be flying JetBlue no more.
I'll let your boy
pull up.
But see, I think the issue is he don't want to do any of that anymore. Like he just don't. Like I know you guys are like joking about it, but like being up there, like in that type of age bracket, it definitely hurts. It's not good for your health to travel like that. Ask Optimus Code in the chat, man. Like, you think Optimus Code is traveling to the West Coast every day? Like, no,
bro. Yoshida's been in this shit for like 30 years.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he knew what was up. He knew he was about to get pushed out, and that man he took a life blow to another part of Sony. He's like, I'm gonna chill here until I'm able to get out of here. And like, for instance, I'm sure some of you have been working at your place for a long time. You know, I know my uncle, he gets paid, like, the longer the work on the railroad, the more he'll get those benefits when he retires. And they're very, like, get the pension and stuff. They're very particular.
Yeah,
they will find ways to get rid of you before you hit that time, so they don't have to pay you none of that stuff.
Yeah,
and Yoshida ain't trying to have none of that. Yoshida trying to get that money, like
trying to get that.
But don't stop L fun though, bro.
Yeah, but it's like this summer, like it was just crazy. Like in terms of like, there's another game that came out today called Amno that I was looking at, but
that looks good too.
So
hold on. Amno Mutation came out today.
I don't know if it's good. I'm saying the wrong. It's Omno. Omno.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I've been waiting for Amno Mutation on.
You see the comment somebody made in the chat? He said too much traveling for Cole would get rid of those 3 braids. That's crazy. Oh man.
Hey Cole, come on in 2 weeks, Cole. Come on.
We got love for you,
Oh,
Cole.
damn.
It's too late.
Hey,
Come on in 2 weeks, Cole.
Also, did any of you guys check out Last Stop yet?
So
I'm
Kid
on
Smooth,
episode 2.
you know what? I'm very curious, Kid Smooth. Would you ever debate Code live?
He did.
No.
He has before though.
He did. Yeah, already.
Would you legitly debate Code?
I don't know.
In a straight debate scenario and everything, man. Would you debate Code? Kid?
Yeah,
Cole
because
body.
I figured
Cole
Code's
body.
figured him out in his questions. He tried to when he presents questions to
listen.
you.
So
he puts you on a track.
Don't do it.
Let's set this up.
Have your fun, man.
Let's set this up. You debate Code. Someone will be the moderator, and then let's see. But just don't bring none of that Polar Rock stuff that you went in with him.
Smooth. Look at me, bro. Smooth. Look at me, bro.
Don't do it.
You gotta have like when the president's giving the speech and he got the joint in his ear. I'll be in your ear. So if you try to make any counterparts, I got you.
Oh my god.
I got you,
Don't do
bro.
it, Smooth, bro. Don't do it.
I'm telling
Don't do
you,
it.
I'll be a lawyer, man. Cole be coming with some bullshit. I got love for you, Cole, but you be coming with some bullshit, bro.
I can hear Jay just say like, I can just hear like him talking, and then all you hear is Jay say, "That's bullshit, Smooth. That's bullshit."
No. I'll be like, in 1999, this was the Deb that did this, and that. I come through with facts.
Look. He said, "Y'all better." You better
He said
double.
he could both of y'all at the same time.
So curiosity code. If you were to take a Sony fanboy, and I mean a fanboy, not a fan, into battle with you, who would it be? Put in that chat. It don't got to be any type of color. Who would you take into a battle with you to debate me and Kid Smooth, both of us?
Oh shit! Oh, he sided himself up.
somebody in the joint called Optimus Code Unchained.
I'll say Porter Rock.
He said Rock. Yeah, he got Rock. All right.
Nah, somebody that play Xbox games too.
Nah, if you get Porter Rock, I get his brother.
Yo, let's do that. No, Kid Smooth and his brother versus Code.
That'd be lit.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Dark Dot.
brother all the time. He destroys his brother all the time. Yeah, a lot of people don't know Porter Rock's actual real brother, Dark. He's actually a huge
Smooth.
Xbox fan.
You a clown for last week, bro. With the picture you said with the cypher.
I did.
I looked at the docs in the chat. Look at the docs in the chat.
Oh, shout out
Dark Dog. Man, no, Dog. On the real, Dog.
I gotta get him on the podcast though. I've been
Dog. You and Kid Smooth versus your brother and Optimus Code. I feel like Dog by himself could beat both of them, but you get Kid Smooth, and I feel like it's. Yeah, no, don't get Foxy Games. We're not that's
Nah,
we
don't.
We gotta do that, Dog. You and Kid Smooth versus Optimus Code, and I already forgot Polar Rock.
Polar Rock, yeah.
They don't want it. Who's the question? Who's going to narrate it? I mean, who's going to moderate?
Alex. Oh no, it's Alex.
Alex. Alex. Oh no, it's Alex.
That would be so dope.
That'd be tight.
Set that up, bro. You gotta set that up.
That would be.
You gotta set
dynamic.
that up.
Yo,
what you need to do too, kid, is you need to heavily promote it, get some some promotion made for it.
Dude,
we sharing that shit everywhere, man.
This dude
Everywhere.
live promoter.
Look, set it up, man.
That's crazy.
You know what's funny,
bro? That shit would be dope.
The question is, Optimus Code, do you feel like you can stand in the ring with them three? I don't know, Code. Feel like you might fall asleep midway. I'm just gonna be real with you,
bro. Hold on, no. Code isn't on AGS with a whole bunch of different random people on there.
I know. I'm just joking with that. I know. And what's funny is like I'd be agreeing with a lot of the stuff Code be saying on there, but I can't publicly say it because they people think there's beef between me and Code, so I got to keep that going. I got to keep that narrative going.
Yeah, you got to just.
All right. So
Activision.
Activision.
Yeah, we missed that whole damn thing.
Like Activision, yeah, because we talked about PlayStation majority of the time.
I tried to keep the show 70% flight sim. I tried.
It's all good.
Yeah, you guys could discuss that. I'm not really interested.
I will set it all up. I will talk to Alex to give him it because I could already see Alex now. You mean to tell me I could be the moderator for some of the biggest fanboys on the internet? I'm doing it. Like,
hey, sell it to him like that, Addict. You be a moderator of the biggest fanboys on the internet.
Did
he do a video on Cole?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Hold on. We was actually joking about this in Xbox Live Party because Alex has been really extra on the PlayStation people. Mm-hmm. We know eventually he's going to make an Xbox. Oh, absolutely. One. We know who you think will be the first person he makes a video on. Alex makes a video on in the Xbox community. My money's on Smooth.
It's not Smooth.
My money's on Smooth.
No, it's not Smooth. I'll bet you right now.
Yeah, no.
There's worse.
There's a lot worse, more worse people.
It's not Smooth.
But Smooth, you gotta agree. You're one of the most vocal. Like
you are up there.
Smooth trying to be calculated.
No, Smooth don't. Smooth don't. Like Smooth.
He's gonna see Smooth before you see them.
Smooth will literally be like, I wonder how much shit that would stir up, and he'll just tweet.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Awesome. Yo, this motherfucker, Dope J, he shared that Ken had got delayed in the chat. The first thing Smooth like, we making fun of this shit.
right.
Hey, bro,
no. Keep in mind.
Nah, the only reason he said that was because I mentioned Psychonauts.
This is coming.
The only reason.
This is coming from the dude that went on Twitter, found any store in the country, in the world that had PlayStation 5s, and it was in China. This man didn't even look around. He didn't like. If that would have been me, I would have eyeballed the picture. I'm like, okay, then I would have put that in Photoshop. Get rid of it. And then I would post it on there. He's like, oh, there's Chinese on there. Don't matter. We're putting that on there. It's a
Nah, that was hilarious because
and then people started attacking him or asking, and then I think Heartache came at him. And Kid Smooth went to Google Translate and translated like
that's crazy, bro.
He translated "kiss my ass" or something related to
that.
He said my ass. So we're acting like this man's not going to be the first video that Alex makes, okay?
Right.
My bad.
No. Heartache asked him like, "Well, where's the store at?" Something along the line. Where's the store at? And then Kid Smooth wrote in Chinese or Japanese, whatever it was, right? And I'm thinking he's writing the name of the store. You hit translate it, it says my ass. I was like, yo, Smooth, you
no, because he had me tight as fuck. And I was like, you know what? Because I couldn't. I was like, all right, whatever. He was like, oh, where can you find these PlayStations in stock? And I was like, all right. I was being really petty at that moment. That's why I did that shit. I wasn't even thinking. I was just mad as shit because I did that, so I didn't say anything that would get us in like a YouTube fucking argument. So I was like, whatever. But yeah. All right, you guys want to talk about this whole Activision and how they got themselves in trouble? And
someone lay it out, like lay out everything that's happening right now.
So pretty much what's happening is they've been. I don't know if this has happened recently or if it's happened like a couple years ago, because clearly this is a lawsuit that's been active for a while. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming
they said the investigation was at least been 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah,
investigation.
So,
yes, that's a fact.
What's going on is there's lawsuits going on, man, and it feels like every day it gets worse. Like they had a frat party with dudes drinking alcohol, spitting on
the Crosby suite.
Why did they? Like seriously, like I don't understand.
Like a music video.
No, it sounds like a comedy cartoon that you would watch on Adult Swim. Like, and this is happening in real life. And here's the thing that I have to. It's like, look, like I want real change. And I stated a couple days ago. It's like I feel like what's going to end up happening is Activision going to reach in that bag and be like, here's you $1 million. Here's you $1 million. I really screwed you over. Here's $10 million. And then they're going to pay they're going to pay California whatever California wants, because California's never going to go. They're never going to throw the book at them, because at the end of the day, they don't want Activision just to leave. So they're probably going to get charged a couple $100 million, if that. And then what's going to happen is Activision will be okay. We good. Everyone had to sign an NDA. Everyone had to sign disclosures saying they can't take us any kind of criminal charges to anyone that was involved. Now we're going to wait like 6 months, and now we actually have more information on how not to get caught. That's how I feel like this is about to go down.
I agree.
I 1000% agree.
And that's not only that, like,
and it's sad. It's sad.
There's a lot of different accusations going on. There's a case where one of the things led to somebody's suicide, and then they took a personal picture of that person and was passing it around the company or whatever, like that person's genitals or whatever, vagina or whatever, right? The girl who died or whatever, they were passing it around. They just came out with a picture, I think it was yesterday or today, that they dug up with a bunch of Activision employees. Literally have the picture of Bill Cosby up, and they're all smiling. Yeah, it's pretty much
that's what we're saying. That they have a thing called the Crosby Suite.
Yeah, that's
they're saying, we're gonna get the girls into the Crosby Suite and shit like that.
I feel like the only. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and a whole bunch of others. When I was reading through this thing, I was like, no, this shit has to be exaggerated. It can't be going on exactly how they're saying it. But no, it's going on exactly how.
It's probably worse than we think. Like,
it's probably worse.
Can I say this?
Hold on. Let me finish. But I definitely agree with Addict that they're probably just gonna end up like paying shit out, blah blah blah. I see a lot of people saying they're gonna start boycotting Activision, and that's all good.
That's all cute. To the next Call of Duty drops, to the next Overwatch drops. Like,
most people are not gonna boycott Activision. I don't really think, because I was watching Spawncast last Saturday, and they were talking about, one of the dudes bring it up, like, this external pressure is really not going to change anything internal. It all has to change with inside, meaning these people that are doing this, they have to leave. In order for this shit to change, they have to leave. Those same people can't be there, because those same people, they're not going to change. They're not going to get pressure from outside external sources. Their sales are going to get up. Those people are not going to, unless they repent and give their life to Christ or whatever, those people are going to say that. Those people are going to say the same shit. So they have to go. So I applaud the Blizzard and Activision employees who are going out on strike. I think there's 2,000 of them. I think that's the best way to go about it.
That is,
and get the leadership out of there.
The thing is when
can I say this real quick? So like there's an entire history of Activision being like really, really like bad scumbags. I'm glad this is happening now, because there's a history of this. So I'm not sure if you guys remember the original Call of Duty developers, Vincent Pellet and Jason West. They were purposefully being spied on internally from Activision to get fired, because Activision thought they were in talks with EA to leave, and they wanted to fire them ahead of time. There was that. I'm not sure if you guys remember this. 2 years ago, there were 800 employees fired from Activision. Even though they recorded record profits, and Bobby Kotick was like, hey, we recorded record profits, but we're restructuring our company. There was that as well. And then last year, there was around 190 employees fired. So there's a history of bad business practices, of them buying back corporate stocks to increase profits. The CEOs and the executives always pay themselves out bonuses and higher salaries year after year while they're firing employees. And then you have to look at the development cycles of these games as well. Like, from everywhere from publishing to the game studios, there's always been a bad culture, and now we're seeing what it actually is, with discrimination, sexual harassment, and a frat bro culture within the organization. And I'm not sure if you guys seen the initial response from an executive, but he was like, "Hey,
it
was really bad." And then there was actually something from Activision saying that a lot of the accusations were distorted and most of them were false. Yeah, there was outdated. Yeah, there was that, outdated. And then they were like, hey, if you guys feel like this is happening to you, report to these different channels. But these are the channels that haven't been working for over part of a decade. It's like, why are we going to report to HR when HR is protecting these people? Well, that makes no sense.
People, and they're like, "Oh, you can reach out to me," but then they got people pulling up, like videos of, I think I don't know the exact name, but the guy from like 10 years ago at BlizzCon, like some lady asked him, hey, when do you guys ever see you guys stop sexualizing, women in your games and stuff? And they like literally made a laughing stock of her.
Yeah, they
and this
dismissed
is
her.
this is a dude that put out a statement when all this come up. He's like, oh, I'm just as shocked as you guys. Like, I can't believe that this is something that I've been trying to fight for this. And it's like, it's just absolute tone deaf responses, and that's why you had this whole walkout thing going on, from 2,000 some employees, because these employees were sitting there like, dude, you are just straight up lying to the public to make yourselves look better.
Yeah.
And the thing about this whole situation is we don't know if we'll ever, personally, like us, get to see these changes actually happen.
No, listen, I'm telling you right now, this is the most exposure. This is the most exposure they've ever had.
Well, yeah, I know. And you got this whole big, huge corporation that probably really knows how to throw stuff under the rug and cover stuff up and make things actually look better than what they actually are. And that's kind of one of the things I'm afraid that's going to happen, is that we're not going to see any real change in these environments and stuff, because they're going to find ways to pay people off to kind of make, dude, you got literally somebody killed themselves on a company trip because of how bad they've been treated in their work environment. Like, I could not imagine being in any type of work environment where that's ever been allowed, and that leadership, and management above them has just kind of try to shove stuff under the rug. And it's kind of, the other sad part is, I don't think it's just Activision. I think
it's everywhere.
You're going to start seeing more and more things come out from all these studios that, we hold near and dear to our heart and enjoy their games, and find out that a lot of these games that we love have been made with very bad intentions and very bad environments, and and it's going to sour kind of a lot of the stuff. Like,
the problem.
Go ahead, Addict.
I was just say the problem that there is rich people, man. They feel like they're above the law. They feel like money. Yeah. They feel like they get. I mean, and I have a cousin. She's in Arizona. She's a lawyer. She says, at the end of the day, I can't remember. Someone said that when you get to a certain length in terms of how much money you have in the bank, it's not necessarily a matter of if you could break the laws, how much it's going to cost you.
It's kind of like the idea of affluenza. Like, you forget that certain laws exist to you, like they apply to you. Like, you're so rich that it doesn't register. Like, there was a
manipulation.
If you want to take
there was a person who killed some people, and he just thought that he could automatically just kind of get off. Like, he didn't factor in that he took other people's lives. Like Chris said, it has to happen internally. People have to go. Like, the external pressure, it's only going to do so much, because their pockets are still going to be getting filled with money. Like, they're still going to be getting paid.
The problem,
so at the end of the day, to actually impact and get some change in there, people have to get out of those seats, that are just allowing this stuff to keep happening.
That's the thing. The thing that you got is, you got these people that are in these leadership roles that are saying that we're going to be the ones that fix them, but they're the ones that I don't trust.
That allowed
to fix it, because they're the ones that allowed it to get this part. The first thing is, Bob Kotick, the CEO, should be booted the fuck out.
He's a fucking scumbag.
Bro,
the thing is, though, he
look like a gremlin. Yo.
The thing, though, is it comes down to money. He's making them more money than they've probably seen in a long time. And the problem that you're going to have is they have us. Let's be real. They have gamers by the balls. Like, they really do. They have our passion. We can sit here. I saw people on Twitter that was demanding people that stream Call of Duty and stuff to stop. The problem with that is they're probably Call of Duty streamers. So, are we expecting them to give up their livelihood and literally throw a dice down the hallway to hope their viewership gravitate towards another game?
It's not about that. No, it's not about that. It's not about those
employees too.
So let me tell you this. All right. So the reason why I highlighted all those different occurrences with how they treated the original Infinity Ward developers, them firing 800 employees in 2018, them firing 190 employees last year in 2020, is the fact that these issues got brushed under the rug after a day or two.
Yeah.
But
This one
we look at
hasn't.
this now. They went from when I first heard about this, it was concerning. Then it became bad. They became really bad, and then you see the Bill Cosby shit. This is like deep waters type of shit. Like this is bad. Like you can't brush this under the rug. This is something that everyone is talking about right now.
It's
problem, Jay,
It's deep rooted into their culture.
Yeah.
Yes,
problem, Jay,
it's in their culture, and you have to look at this, right? Who the fuck cares about these streamers? I've literally seen people, whether it's on Twitter, Reddit, wherever it is, right, say that, oh, this doesn't matter because they're still going to sell. That's not the point. It's about a cultural workplace issue that the employees are tired of. It doesn't matter about how much they sell. It's about the livelihoods and the environment that these people are working in. People have been discriminated against. There's sexual harassment. There's micromanagement. There's so many other issues. And then we already know what happens on the top end with the CEO and the executives paying themselves out bonuses while firing people. There's a long history of not only just bad business practices, but bad cultural practices as well. That's in the limelight today. This is the perfect time because we're putting such a spotlight on these issues, and there's so many voices being heard now that they can't brush this under a rug.
They're gonna brush it under the rug.
Now there's gonna be people
pretty much.
there's
They're
gonna be
definitely gonna
executives. There's gonna be executives that leave and try to deny any accountability whatsoever. We've seen this with their initial responses and how tone
Get
deaf
that
it
golden
was.
parachute, baby.
They're going to have that golden parachute, but this is not going to be brushed under the rug easily. There are going to be people that get fired. There's going to be faces and names attached to this in the coming days. I guarantee that.
It's crazy that
Coke
you
boy,
haven't
so-
heard of anybody
so-
leaving
I-
and
I-
stepping
I
down
definitely-
already, which is weird.
I
Usually-
definitely understand that, but this isn't something that happened yesterday. This isn't something that happened last week.
No.
This is something that happened
Been
last
going
month.
on.
It's been years of this. I mean, we've heard
Right.
about this. Like, we haven't heard certain incidences like the Cosby thing, but we've heard a lot of this stuff in the past. Like, the thing is until, you know, and I know this is about to sound bad, but when people take the money from the civil courts and they can't go after them criminally, what do you think's more impactful?
But they don't care about that because they're boycotting. They're not going to work. That's the most impactful thing you can do.
I'm not talking about these people. I agree with the boycotting.
You talking about
That's going to do something. I'm talking about the people that actually have the keys to do something.
Yeah.
The people that have been wrong. 9 times out of 10, and I don't blame them, they're going to take a check. They're going to take money from them, and I can guarantee you, my cousin has told me over and over again, the reason you do not see change in these kind of scenarios is because these rich people, what's a couple $1 million to them? It's nothing. They make them sign some paperwork saying they don't have to deal with the shit ever again, and they move on with their life. These people should be brought up with charges, but they're never going to be brought up with charges because they can go out and do what they want and spend $20 million and then just devoid the whole thing in general.
I do think there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to testify from higher up, and Bobby Kotick is going to take care of them, because if you look at the entire situation with Jason West and Vincent Peller, when they got fired from Infinity Ward, there's people who testified against Activision that said, hey, Bobby Kotick was going to take care of me. If you look at the Game Industry Biz article that they posted a year ago, right, when they talked about that whole situation in retrospect, there was an IT director that came out and testified against Activision. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be more people that is going to stand up and say, hey, we can't stand this. There's no way we can avoid accountability. Because there's going to be a lot of evidence stacked against them. There was a 2-year investigation on this. You can't run away from that.
But my point is to you, man, is they're not going to go after everyone they've wronged. They're going to go after the ones that's going to cost them. And if they silence them, then they can take someone to civil court, someone to criminal court for years and be fine. Like the whole point is the company is too big and they make too much money to like this thing that they're doing with the walkout. That's going to affect them more than these lawsuits ever would, because that's affecting their brand.
I agree.
They care about their brand more than they care about even $500 million, even $1 billion. That's going to hurt them, and they're not going to like it. But it's either that or shut down. They'll pay that easily. But when people refuse to work on games, and that's gonna delay the games, they care about that more than they care about anything else.
Yeah, I believe that's what they need to do. They need to be more impactful with that internally, because like we can be on the podcast and we can voice our thoughts and opinions on this, and millions of gamers and supporters can come out the woodwork and provide pressure, but there's nothing as much as internal pressure. Employees saying, hey, we're not going to be here. We're not going to work on these games. We're not going to be here on the publishing side, and say, hey, we're going to impact your bottom line because we are in the trenches doing the dirty work, and you're not representing us whatsoever with these tone deaf statements that you're making from executives and CEOs. No, we don't want any part of this. We need real change now. And I think they need to do that. Like, I really genuinely think they need to do that.
I think what needs to happen is, I think some of these people that's done these wrongs, they need to go to jail, man. Because I feel like that if there's anything executives fear more than anything, they fill those cells, man. They don't want to go to jail. And I feel like until we start sending these people to jail, you're going to continue seeing this because it's happening everywhere. Rich people rich people
escape it so much, though. Like
they do escape it, but every now and then,
so much.
Certain people don't escape it.
Let's hope they don't escape this one. But with that being said, it's like
yeah, for sure. I know it's late.
Yeah. I'm gonna read this last super chat because I think I missed it. It was after code. It's from Brain.
Hey, Blanchard, get in this chat after this call. I gotta talk to you. Get in this chat after this podcast.
It says Brain Cells on fire. He says the House in Fata Morgana is the highest rated game of the year. Also, playing game is a sim, so no one cares. Okay. But yeah, do you guys just one last question? Not
his Brain Cells is on fire.
Yeah. Oh damn. Not related to any like to have like a longer discussion about it, but I mean, could this lead to like is there, because it's about to be August 1st and there's no Call of Duty information. No reveal.
I don't even know it was that. Yeah, to me that seems kind of weird because they already revealed that.
So I don't think that matters.
So
at the end of the day, they announced something.
Here's what happened. So Sledgehammer and Raven Software was originally supposed to make Black Ops Cold War that was shipped last year.
Yep.
They were taken off that and were given the reins to make that game, and essentially Raven Software and Sledgehammer Games are made to be the support studios to help ship that game last year, and we've seen the state that game was at launch. Now, there's been multiple reports about this game being in dev hell, right? With what was it, Call of Duty Vanguard World War II, whatever that trash is going to be, right?
Yeah.
That game is in dev hell.
Vanguard.
Now with this happening, that's going to impact the game. I don't know when the hell we're going to see gameplay for that, honestly, because this is going to drag out.
Don't they usually show Call of Duty games?
They show Call of Duty.
I mean, you gotta think they might have been about to gear up to show Call of Duty stuff, but right now for them is not the time to show anything.
If they show that game tomorrow, dislike them.
Hold up.
Dude, everybody would be pissed, dude, if they have all this, if they got this lawsuit that's been going on for 2 years with this investigation, and then all this news just broke out, and then oh yeah, by the way, tomorrow's the new Call of Duty reveal, dude. They would set themselves on fire by doing that.
It's a PR nightmare.
Yeah. It would be a PR nightmare that there was supposed to be stuff on Overwatch 2 that was supposed to come out.
Yeah, that's true.
Ended up going silent. Like, they are in very much silent mode right now, and I think they're going to be in silent mode till this stuff with whatever this lawsuit and stuff's going to go is either go away or the talk about it dies down.
It's not going away. It's not getting brushed under the rug.
And
we have major media sites.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what. But I'm just saying, we is in general, I mean, the one thing that we got is our voices, and we need to let them know that, hey, we're still here. Yeah. We're gamers. Yeah, we're the ones paying you, but we expect, I would expect from my work to be treated equal and to be treated, fair. I don't expect anybody else, just because they're making a product I enjoy, to be treated like garbage to where the point that they want to kill themselves. I find that's very unacceptable. So I do not plan on buying any Activision games the rest of this year.
Man,
that's my take. Right. I was excited for Diablo 2 Resurrected. I'm not buying it,
bro.
Damn.
No,
bro, you know what's the last Activision published game I bought? It was actually Sekiro. That was literally the last one.
That was it.
I forgot that was even published by Activision.
Yeah. I mean, didn't y'all buy Tony Hawk's or somebody?
Nope.
I actually got a free one from BG. Let's wrap this up. The kid has tried to wrap it up 3 times.
Yeah, he did.
So pretty much, yeah, thank you guys for watching. If this conversation continues, it will be uploaded for the members of the channel if the guys stay in here. But I'm hitting the live
I'll
button
be
'cause
here.
I have to address a few things. But appreciate you guys for watching. You guys turned out. Thanks for all the likes. We will see you guys next week. As always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace.
Yo,
Peace.